Welcome to Bourbon with Brad.
The views and opinions shared on the Bourbon with Brad podcast are our own and those of our guests. Nothing we discuss should be taken as financial, legal, business, or gambling advice. Don't make investment, business, or betting decisions based on our conversations, as you should always talk to a qualified professional. Always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and only consume alcohol if you are of legal drinking age.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we are back here in the Bourbon Studios of Indiana, PA, and we got a special couple guests in the studio. Man, I don't know, you can't smell it through the camera or the microphone, but these wings that JP brought tonight, goodness.
Those are money.
Oh my goodness, they were
money.
good. They were very good. Oh, and look who makes a surprise appearance.
We didn't even know Cardi was coming.
I didn't know it's St. Patrick's Day.
What'd you bring? He brought fireworks. Look at that.
Fireworks. Oh my goodness. Might be in this 5th segment already. There are going to be fireworks.
It's going to get a little smoky down here.
I think Cardi smelled the wings all the way across town. They are good, JP.
They are very, very good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. If there's a master smoker, it is
very good. I've tried smoking wings. My wife doesn't care for them because she likes the skins crispier.
Right. Well, these
tough to do. Although those are pretty good.
I'll tell you what, these skins are, I don't know how you do it, but my smoked wings never come out that nice and crispy. Very good.
Yeah, delicious.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Eric. Welcome, Cardi. Nice to be here. And the one and only Loubricity is on his way, so when he comes, he'll be joining us on the set.
Always fashionably late.
Always fashionably late. He's doing his hair and making sure he looks pretty for all the ladies.
And for his doctor tomorrow.
and for his doctor, yeah. So Louis might not be drinking tonight. He may have to put a head on that bourbon again,
Oh, good God.
Right?
That made for one of the funnier clips we've ever recorded here.
Yeah, and we didn't know we were recording. That was even better, right?
No, well, you're welcome.
So we're just enjoying a little bit of this pre-bourbon tonight, aren't we, Per?
Yep. I had some of the Whistle Pig from last week, and you're having this Horse Soldier from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Horse Soldier.
I don't know what JP's having. What did you get?
Nothing yet.
Oh, Jesus.
Nothing yet. Yeah, he's still enjoying those wings. Those wings are good. I mean, telling you what.
They're very good. JP made them.
Oh, yeah, right. All right. I know.
Yeah, they're good.
I know. So, we've got a special bottle tonight we'll be talking about, too, when Lou gets here, thanks to yourself there, Per.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Bought that, I don't know, a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's been aging in the cupboard, huh?
My travel, it's been aging in the cupboard. So if it says 6 years, it's really 8 years. I don't know.
It's a Weller, too, right? So.
Yep. Found it at a liquor store out in Ohio, and I was like, oh, I probably better grab it.
Yeah, you don't see those on the shelves too often here in Pennsylvania.
No.
At least in Indiana.
No. We're lucky if we see Buffalo Trace.
Right.
We definitely never see any of the other Buffalo Trace.
It's a run on the run on the Buffaloes every time that comes in the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I hear you. So, the AI headlines, they never stop, and it just seems like they got furiously fast this week with SpaceX going at their IPO, and as anticipated, the high demand for those stocks pushed it quickly up. I think there was a 60% gain there in the first few days. So it's amazing where, Elon's already gone. And I think he's technically, at least for a while, at least when we were going on air, the first trillionaire of on paper, at least, right?
Yep. That was the prediction, and apparently that's come true.
Yeah, it is.
So congrats to Elon.
Yeah, congrats to Elon.
Breaking that record.
That's a big number.
The record I'd like to break sometime.
Yeah, it's a big number. Hopefully he has probably going to need a couple other planets to go to spend it all, but it is a.
And there was something on the radio the other day. Somebody did the math. They said the average person working with their average salary would have to work 12 million years.
Oh, that's all. Retirement's right around the corner, right?
Yeah. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
That's something to look forward to. Hey, who doesn't want to work more? That's always what you want to hear from your boss, right? No, so he SpaceX is going to the moon one way or another. Maybe he was telling us it was going public. That never the idea of actually going to the moon, but until he started putting data centers up there. And as we talked about a few weeks ago, you had that option to buy Cursor before the Anthropic beautiful coding platform that I've been using, for my two legal platforms that I've developed. So I've played with it firsthand and seen how wonderful it is and how very easy it is to use. It'll definitely, as long as you can converse with it, it'll definitely walk you through it if you ask it the right questions and keep it pretty simple. So I like baby steps, just one thing at a time. Let's take it one thing at a time. Then we'll go down the road. That's my advice there. But Elon gave them a $10 billion deposit when they were trying to raise a few billion, and they thought they hit the jackpot then. And then he said, I want an option to buy it for $60 billion by the end of the year, anytime before the end of the year. And guess the first thing he does as a new publicly traded company?
Yeah. He
exercises that option and gives them $60 billion worth of SpaceX IPO stock.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So for a young company that just started about a little over a year and a half ago, it's kudos to them. That's the American dream right there, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
numbers I can't even fathom.
Right? You provide a solid product like that, and I can't stress it enough. We're going to talk to Lou a little bit. I know he hasn't tried out Cursor, but he did get on to Claude this week. He was sending us pictures of which platform he should be subscribing to, and he dove in and he actually sent me a spreadsheet, the first one he did for my ED meds, and it was pretty impressive.
Nice. I've used Gemini a little bit more frequently lately. I had to put a spreadsheet together for me the other night. It did a phenomenal job.
Gemini's been good too. I've been using that back and forth between Claude and Cursor, Claude and Gemini. I'm sorry. I found that Copilot, as I was mentioning a couple weeks ago, I think just slipped. I don't think Microsoft's kept it up to date, and it certainly isn't up to date as far as competing with what these other platforms are capable of doing. And Gemini, Cursor, or I keep saying Cursor, it's Claude. They hallucinate. I find they still hallucinate, but they hallucinate less than Copilot, you just can't get the right. It doesn't have the capability of giving you the right answer. I don't even know it's a hallucination. So it's kind of what I've come down to this time. So Microsoft needs to dig into their cash coffers and figure out a way to bring their product up. Kudos to Google. They have, they dug in, and boy, they've gone real quick. I told you about how Anthropic and ChatGPT are fighting to create their own legal, platforms, for legal reasoning, legal research, legal workflows. Well, this week, Google just hired and has a team that are now in charge of that. And I saw them advertising on LinkedIn for attorneys, experienced attorneys to help train their models. So they're trying to get into the race too. So it always seems like these companies are kind of weaving in and out with their competitors doing it, or they think there's a market there. They're gonna try to fetch after it.
So you're suggesting that AI, there are various levels of intelligence, just like humans.
Oh yeah,
some are better than others.
I think that's
smarter than others.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Interesting.
I've definitely.
You gotta start using AIQ. Yeah. What's your AIQ, Anthropic?
Now, certain, again, they all have their pros and cons. I think there's certain things that you can do with them. Like if you're looking for Copilot just to help you out with an email or work with inside your Word documents, your spreadsheets, your PowerPoints, or any of the Microsoft 365 products. It does a nice job there because it is well versed and trained on that. That's its environment. But when it gets outside, it's right now I'm finding it to be just a little bit better than a search engine.
That's not a compliment.
Yeah, I don't think it's real complimentary, and I'm sure my Microsoft friends out there are like, Brad, that's not nice. But it's honest, and I even told Copilot, I said, look, I'm not coming back and talking to you for a couple of weeks. You need to figure this out. I said, if you would spend as much time training on how to be empathetic and apologize for not being good, and actually learned how to do stuff.
So you guys had a fight?
Yeah, we had a little
falling out.
A little falling out. I'm not talking right now to him.
Well, he'll come back around.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see who budges first. Copilot.
That's That's funny, dude.
So
Don't have to keep us posted on that.
Yeah, I will.
We'll watch for the status change on your social
Shoot
media
one of those
pages.
rockets I gave you.
that's
Those are
right.
some pretty serious looking rockets, Cardi.
Oh, it's appropriate with the 4th of July right around the corner. I'm drinking a little horse soldier. I feel very patriotic right
I
now.
said,
You know?
when it gets dark, we go blow those bad.
Oh, I think we blow them right up. You know,
Nobody's expecting it today.
we'll send him firing right over to Cook's yard. He appreciates a good firework. Anyway, so those are the two really big headlines that were kind of streaking through the news waves this week. But we've been talking a little bit about the different models, and we were getting through. Well, we got through one point on ChatGPT last week and got side railed, but that was all right, So I do want to talk a little bit more about ChatGPT. They have upped their game as well. They have filed for their public offering in their IPO papers too, so that should be coming around the corner, especially now that the Musk trial is resolved, at least in their favor. So any kind of appeals are going to be on, the burden's going to be on him to try to overturn and get a new trial, which that's a heavy lift at this point.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, the chances of that happening are far and few. So they're full steam ahead. They couldn't even wait. There was initial talks that they were going to wait till fall, and it just seems like they're going to hit while the hitting's good. And I think if SpaceX is any kind of prognosticator, little whistle pig, of what's to come, I would want to get those papers filed too. And if I were Dario and Anthropic, I'd want to get that out there as well, because right now it's hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got to figure he's probably right there, not far behind.
No, Dario, unlike the others, is actually making money. So that's
He is now.
well.
Hey, Brad, I
You
saw a nice little T-shirt the other day. Somebody in town walking. It says, "I don't need to learn ChatGPT. My wife's got all the answers."
Well, that's still true. That old adage still holds true. There ain't no doubt. My wife's is a walking encyclopedia. I mean, she is the trivia queen. I never
like
challenge anything she has to say as far as factual, because I know it's factual.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah,
Like,
she is, right?
I mean, she's your ace, and she's your ace card. Whenever
Oh,
you
we
play
go to
trivia.
levity and play trivia. That's not even fair to the other teams to ever there.
Eric could be a good one to have there too.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Eric would be just a.
I'm just a
we'd
dummy.
have to
that
just,
I just buy the beers.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll
at
go
that.
get the beers. You guys answer the question.
Maybe I'll throw one sports question in for you guys once in a while.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm not real good at remembering stats. So, but that's why you got AI these days. You can recall anything real quickly. It's not like Google where you got to, in the old days, you have to thumb through a bunch of possibly, relevant listings to find your answer. Now it's you get ticked off. It doesn't give you the right one the first time, right?
I like the way Google has restructured their search engine. So it instead of just providing a list of links as a result of whatever it is you're searching, it just basically talks to you and says, "Here's what I found about Weller's Special Reserve." Or
they
whatever.
completely changed it.
It's totally different.
That was one of the headlines a couple weeks ago. If you remember, they went from their old algorithmic formula to this completely AI driven. So now it's running on a different kind of basis, and it is more responsive.
I mean, Google's interface hasn't changed for 20 years.
It's about as basic as it gets, right? Not fancy.
And it worked.
Clean.
I mean, that's why everybody used it.
Yeah,
but this is definitely better.
Yeah.
It still gives you the links, but it gives you more of a communicative.
Yeah.
It almost writes an essay for you.
It does. It's giving you support as to why it thinks this is the relevant information you want, right?
Yep.
I like it,
Yeah, I like it too.
Or why it's not. Yeah, so either way.
Or that,
Yeah. Then you got to keep looking. But ChatGPT has come along. I've been using it for, we talked about the ChatGPT 5.5 that's out right now, and it's now been out for a spell. I would say it almost seems like an eternity in the tech world. It's about 4 or 5 weeks. And so it's been tested, and there's been a lot of great things that have come out of it. You'll see a lot of examples out there on YouTube, or if you want to get on any of these tech sites that will show you what they're capable of doing. I've been using it for the image creation. I think I showed you a few of the country club, social media posts I created with it. Really has come a long way where it doesn't, things don't look so semi-real. It now has a very realistic appearance to it and how it can modify things. I have not gotten a chance yet to play with Claude's, and I wanted to try it today because I did create a new video, but I just haven't had. It's been a real busy day. I kind of ran up against the clock even here, getting down here to welcome JP through the door. But they supposedly now with Claude, and I'm guessing ChatGPT 5.5 has the same capabilities on their visual end as well. Is you can now put a video in or load it up, and it will actually edit it for you. So. Yeah, I looked for it real quickly to see where the upload was. I'm going to have to look into that this week, and if I have time, I'm going to try to play around with that and find out where that is, or if maybe I'm mistaken as to what that
Yeah, I don't know
feature might be.
I don't know if I mentioned it on last week's show, but we had some pictures from outside the high school graduation a couple weeks ago, and there was a picture of I sent it to you. It was a picture of Garrett and his grandmother, and then his dad and his stepmom.
Yeah,
and we didn't get a picture of just Garrett and his grandmother. So Nikki said, can you Photoshop this? I was like, I can't. It's gonna be tough because I have to recreate background back there, and there's people, and So I was like, I'll just try Gemini and see how it does. I think it was Gemini. Yeah. So I just copied the file, pasted it into Gemini, and said, can you remove the person on the far left and the person on the far right of this picture?
Yeah.
And give me a high resolution image?
Yeah.
And in about 15, 20 seconds, it was like perfect.
Right?
It was perfect. I was shocked.
Yeah. No, and I didn't even think about it until somebody showed me also this week. Said, we've been taking old photos, like I'm talking 30, 40-year-old, type photos. Taking a digital picture of them, uploading it into, you name the platform, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok, and they come to life, or any of these,
Oh yeah,
so you can make them, move around. You can make them,
I've seen that. Yeah.
You tell it what you want it to do, right? So it's like bringing old family photos or friends, back into that snapshot in time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there was one I saw advertised. I think there's somebody offering this as a service. Or, I don't know, but why you wouldn't just do it yourself is beyond me. But it was a woman whose father or grandfather who must have been in World War II or something, and like they're showing the static photo, and then he starts moving and talking, and she's crying.
Right.
But it was pretty neat.
I hear you.
I got to try that.
Yeah, definitely got to try. I got to do that too. I even pulled out. I was digging through my desk drawer and I found an older photo that's back in the late 70s. I'm gonna have to try that with that and see how it does. Should be interesting. I did it with SETI.
Yeah.
It worked well with SED.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I did golf this week too. By the way, that's even a bigger headline than I haven't been golfing much lately. So
I played 9 holes with you and Tanya that day, and I played that par 3 with you guys too, and that's all I've played.
I hear you.
I just haven't had a chance. I'm going away not this coming weekend, but the weekend after for a couple of days out to Ogle Bay. But
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be. That's a pretty nice course.
That is a nice course, down there.
So, but that'll be the most golf I've played all year.
So you guys wrapped up the lacrosse season too, right? With the All-Star game, was that the?
Yep. Everything's done.
Awesome.
That's it. It was we saw a lot of the families of his travel teammates because they all play at various schools around Pittsburgh, and so it was kind of cool, but it was kind of sad because I don't know.
Who's the lacrosse player?
My stepson.
Very nice.
But yeah, so it was kind of neat because we've gotten to be pretty good friends with a lot of these people. You spend most of your summer, 3 or 4 weekends through the summer with them away. And so you tend to kind of hang out with certain ones and have a couple drinks and go to dinner and stuff like that. So it was a good time.
Yeah.
You've done it. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. We did it a lot with golf and,
yeah.
Well, there was a period of time when Quinn was playing basketball too. So we did that, and Harrison too early on. And it's amazing the travel schedules that these kids go through. And it's not just starting in high school. I mean, we're talking 4th, 5th, 6th grade and up,
It gets more intense every year, it seems.
It does.
But,
my son-in-law is the head lacrosse coach at Point Park College. So if you guys...
Is he really?
It's Division II.
Nice.
So one of
there's a connection.
One of Garrett's teammates that graduated last year plays down there, Parker Bauer Sox.
Nice.
And then I think that's where Max Camposano's going.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I was just going to say.
He graduates next year.
Yeah, so he has one more year to go.
One more year, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of got that program up and going. It's pretty new. Matter of fact, I think last year was their first year.
They took the job and they had a whole year to get going. They were Division III, now they're Division II.
Yeah.
And
yeah. That's cool. Parker was there. He's a nice kid. His dad is one of the assistant coaches of the high school team. So when he'd get out of school, he'd come back and watch the games. Real nice kid. So,
nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I figured Max would be going to a school where he could fly in and out of, maybe Grove City, have a little airport right next to you,
He posted a picture today. He was flying over Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing taking pictures, pal?
Yeah, right.
Fly the plane.
But you know the new law, you got to keep your hands on the wheel.
Yeah, you can't touch your phone while you're driving.
No, that's Pennsylvania law. No, you can't even.
Yeah, it's
pick
still not
something
going
up,
to
you
help.
know?
There's still a bunch of bonehead drivers out
Oh, they're in there.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's for.
Don't
the
even
best.
get me started.
No,
on it.
it's for the best. But yeah, so those are the major headlines this week, Per. Did you play around with AI at all this week?
Very little.
Yeah.
I don't have an excuse.
Other than editing photos, huh?
Well, I did that, and then I did build a spreadsheet. I copied data from a website and pasted it into. I think I used Gemini for that. Yeah, I used Gemini because it would go into Google Sheets, and
That makes sense.
And told it to create a Google Sheet and organize these things and put a radio button beside the ones I want to check off, and it was quick,
Pretty easy and quick,
So,
and
yeah, and it was almost perfect. I had to tweak a couple little things, but that saved me. I would have taken me an hour to do that.
oh yeah, at least
So-
and it's amazing. And all these what used to be kind of boring tasks, you kind of had to work through doing all the technicalities of making sure everything kind of lined up, especially spreadsheets, and the formulas. It now does it all.
Make your eyes go cross.
Yeah, right. So I can remember getting so frustrated, and then you realize it was just one little letter or comma or period that was off, or or a lack of a letter,
Yeah.
comma or number.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
The spreadsheets are that's probably one of the greatest things ever invented. Yeah,
For sure.
It's like one of the greatest tools.
spreadsheets, first drafts of emails now. You can always polish it through, or
Yeah.
or just draft something up, put it through. It's really nice. It is a great second set of eyes.
Yeah, I've been using it more and more. I'll use it to edit, or not edit, but polish up. If I'm sending a letter or an email
Yeah.
to somebody, I will do that. And,
Nice.
And it'll make these very subtle changes, but they're very noticeable, and they make a huge difference. And now it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So I haven't used it for anything super serious, but just mundane tasks. Like,
Give it a whirl.
I
Guess
know.
who just walked in? The one and only Mr. Loubricity. Oh, he always brings a smile to my face.
it's game on now.
We're gonna get Louis a pre-drink. We're gonna refill my drink, and we're gonna crack open this Weller's. And when we come back, we're gonna get into the second segment.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Cheers.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we are back, and we are joined by the infamous Loubricity himself,
Loubricity here.
Mr. Kowalski. Welcome back, brother.
Good evening. Thank you.
Yeah, we're glad we caught you here before you leave for Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
That'll be fun.
Be lovely. Lovely.
Perfect time of year to go up to Nova Scotia.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, the temperature is going to be about 45 degrees. So
Yeah.
maybe no snorkeling, maybe kayaking, but we'll see.
You'll
how
probably
that
see
goes.
about 8 data centers being built in the backyard, though,
Hey, Eric,
Perfect cooling weather,
as long as there's no earthquakes up there, we'll be good.
Yeah, we don't want those.
No earthquakes.
Yeah, no
we don't want those
earthquakes,
at all.
please. Leave those alone.
Yeah.
But you know what? The Canadians are very friendly. It's Canada, right?
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, I have a question. Are you from Western Pennsylvania originally?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay, so any of you folks out there in the audience that are from Western Pennsylvania, you'll remember Killer Kowalski back in the
The
days of
wrestler.
Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You related to him?
No. but I got the question.
Oh, you do?
Often.
Yeah.
Lou's been dying to ask you that.
I have.
And in Japan. Like,
Really?
I got, oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kowalski-san. Yeah.
No kidding.
Ah, Killer Kowalski. I mean, back after World War II, wrestling became a big thing in Tokyo and the surrounding areas of Japan. And it was more this thing where they had these American wrestlers and this is the WWF kind of stuff, the studio wrestling, right? And it was a big thing for the Japanese because they just lost the war, right? And you get these American wrestlers come in, and the Japanese wrestlers, because they've got the sumo, right?
Yeah.
It's just slightly different, but
A little more powerful.
But yeah, the Japanese people they love it when the American wrestlers just lost, and that was the whole
That was their
purpose,
bounce
yeah?
back.
Yeah, it's honest to God, it's a true story. Yeah,
Do you ever see a sumo come off the top rope? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I just don't think that happens. I mean, they are a well-grounded bunch, you know?
They are. I've been to sumo before. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys they're huge. Oh, it is unbelievable. These guys are athletes. I mean, they're huge, but they're so quick. It's. I mean, those matches could go somewhere like 2 seconds. There's different moves, but a lot
2
of fun.
seconds.
Yeah,
Sounds like
got to get them out
Mike
of the ring.
Tyson fight.
But yeah.
You know Cardi for a couple years now. How far is he from sumo size?
Hey, listen.
He's in training.
I think Cardi's looking pretty svelte, actually.
No, I know. He walked down here in his St. Patrick's Day shirt, man. He's representing tonight, man. He got fireworks in hand. I mean, it was
He walked in and pointed that rocket at you. I was like, what the hell's going on?
no. I said, I feel like I'm under attack. Am
Point
That's
to
what
I the White House?
That's what the neighbors are going to say.
Wait a minute.
By the time this episode airs, Brad will have already been arrested for lighting fireworks at the club.
Yeah, that'll be in the headlines next week.
He'll represent himself. It'll be good.
Yeah, guy blames it on AI. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got a mind of their own.
Somehow the AI figured out how to light my lighter.
Anyways, we were talking about the headlines before you got here, Louie, and you were mentioning off air here as we were coming on with our pre-bourbon drink and enjoying some of these great smoked wings from JP.
No doubt.
Right? Really
Yeah,
not
Those were
Good.
so
Outstanding
good.
wings.
Yeah, I mean, you should have your own place. I mean, just have
Should.
just have the chiropractor in town tear you down a building and make a little corner for you.
Yeah, those are excellent. Very good.
Yeah, the thing we were talking about was a SpaceX IPO, and you were mentioning you were talking about doing a put on it, but did you do it, or were you just kind of?
I have 38 cents to my name.
Oh, well, you could have made 50.
Well, actually, no, to be honest with you, I could have made 76 cents.
See, that's how it starts.
I jokingly shot out a note to one of my other text threads. I think it was midweek, and I said, "Hey, I'll tell you right now, I'd buy this out of the money put." It was about $12 out of the money, and it was a June 18th expiration. I thought, what the hell, take a little shot at it.
Right.
And sure enough, within an hour, I don't know, somebody made a move on stock. Stock dropped 12 points. The put went from $3.90 or something to about $8, and it was a double. And naturally, as been most of my life, I wasn't on the wrong side. I was on the right side, but I wasn't in the house, right? I missed it. But
you weren't sitting at the table. You were just sitting there looking over the shoulder.
right. I was watching the replay.
Yeah,
video
that's
replay.
okay. That's okay though. But you called it, and that's the most important. And I think, my gut feeling. We were talking the night before the IPO came out on Thursday, which was the day after we filmed last week, and we were, I asked Claude. I said, Claude, what's the demand that you're seeing out in the market? If you had to guess, is there a demand for the SpaceX IPO stock at 135? And I said, give me kind of a variable. Is it 1 for 1? Is it 75%? Is it where are we looking here? And it's right now the institutions are overtaken. They have the control over the initial stock. It's probably a 3.8 to 1 buyer's market. They want to buy it. So you could just feel it. It was coming, right?
Sure, I think this has to fall into the category of FOMO, right?
Right.
If you're investing in the market at any point, how do you not take a shot on this? Of all the stuff that's come out in the last 20 years,
Right.
Is there anything that I don't want to say has more chance of realistically launching, pun intended,
Right.
But this thing could go to the.
Well, there you go again.
The puns,
This thing could go to Saturn.
these are like the
right.
these are like the boner. These are like the
We're
boner
talking about my
jokes.
ED meds now, are we?
That's what I was going to say. It's like the boner jokes. They write themselves.
write
Yeah, they do
themselves.
rate themselves. But how do you?
It's going to blast off.
It's going to everything. All the pun is out
There you
there.
go.
All the innuendo is out there with this stock. But how do you not take a shot on Elon at this point?
Well, if
right?
you could roll back in time and you could go back and buy Google on the first day, if you could buy Apple on the first day, if you could buy some of these, IBM, all the great tech companies that have been out there, how can you not think that these three that are in the All-Star, at least in the All-Star conversation, as infant pre-IPO, well, they were last week pre-IPO. Now SpaceX is officially out there with XAI, and like we said, the first thing they did was they bought a great product. You know, we were talking about Starlink, you know, being one of their products, and they have a couple other things that they're doing, but Cursor is going to be an immediate impact to the bottom line, and I think they got it at a bargain. I know
$60 billion bargain.
it's a $60 billion bargain. Just because I've used it personally,
Can you believe we're saying that?
well, and we were saying off air, but you know, when Microsoft shuts down their whole engineering and says, guys, we need to put the pause on. Nobody uses Cursor again until we figure out what the actual cost is, because our engineers are going nuts, because that's what they were going to.
Yeah.
When another company gets a bill for $500 million after 1 month of spending because they didn't realize they had unlimited,
Get out.
Token maxing.
Token max. When Uber spends their whole 2026 AI budget in 3.5 months because it was Cursor. So yeah, Elon's like the very first thing I'm doing.
I think he's got an interesting product, especially. I read the prospectus as well. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read that. 432 pages.
No, I asked Claude.
Did you? There you go. See,
I said, what do you think here? Is this a bunch of bullshit or is it just
I mean, they've got 3 great products on their SpaceX. Yeah, they've got their connectivity, their Starlink. That's their cash cow.
That is right now, right?
You got your AI product, data centers in space.
Yep.
And
So you got Grok, yep.
You got Grok. You got Colossus 1 and 2.
Yep.
Right. It's about about a gigawatt of data center space. Yeah.
One of which they lease to Anthropic for almost $1 billion a month.
Yep. You've got, but it's interesting because especially those data centers in space rather than terrestrial.
Yeah.
I found that fascinating. That your cost base, is just so different, right? Energy from the sun, and you got the cooling of space, right?
Right.
But then how do you swap out the hardware though? That's the interesting piece.
I know.
But I don't know. I don't
He used one of his rocket ships to send up new stuff.
I know when we were talking that night about,
They'll figure it out.
the data centers and, how they were now putting them under, the ocean and they're now looking to put them in an orbit, and SpaceX has a couple preliminary deals with Google and Anthropic to get them into orbit. Were you here that night with us, Eric, when we were talking about that?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. So that was the conversation that I'm coming back to. And I think that's really where the future lies in SpaceX. Cursor, I think it's $1 trillion company by itself.
Easy.
Just because I have lived and breathed it. I've seen what it's done. I've seen how it's evolved since I started using it.
You said trillion with a T?
It's $1 trillion company.
Easy.
There's no doubt, because when you have companies that are making headlines, and big companies, I'm not talking like these little companies, I'm talking Microsoft, I'm talking Uber, that are saying we need to put the brakes on because our bill this month on using, not that it wasn't justified. And when you look at it, and that's the thing, when you look at it, you go, yeah, that was worth every dollar, because if I had to pay a team of engineers to put together what we just did, and that's where the engineers are actually having a very, I'm talking to the data engineers now, the scientists that have been, coding it the old-fashioned way, are now looking at this going, my goodness, I can get so much done. And not only can I get so much done, but I didn't realize there's a few other things this can do and it has knowledge of that I'm able to pull in from. It's able to go into the open source things. It's able to do all this stuff, kind of like the white papers we were talking about with doctors, and the synthesizing between 38,000 different white papers and looking for, how do we cure this? Because now we can cross-examine all the different,
Very quickly. Too.
Yeah, I know. I felt like I had a coffee, but this might be the bourbon kicking. This Weller's is damn good. I gotta be honest. I am speeding up. That's not Barry just saying I gotta get through this editing, But I'm going to slow down for a second and just say this: it is that good. And if Cursor would have been going public, I think they would be going to $190 a share price alone.
So what's interesting to me is I heard one of the talking heads on CNBC this week,
Great band,
who actually suggested that he thinks $3 trillion is way light for SpaceX. He thinks with everything they got going on, and this was before the Cursor acquisition.
Yeah.
He thought SpaceX was a $30 trillion company.
I agree. I agree.
It's hard to fathom $30 trillion valuation.
Well, and that's where it's going. So if you look at the future of data centers, and we're seeing the rush right now, and we're seeing the community pushbacks for probably good reason in certain extents because they take up a huge footprint. They're using a lot of our electricity, which is very, much so in high demand right now. They also
Brad, hold on. Senator McCormick's calling me. I'm sure he wants to talk about bourbon right now.
I'm sure he does. I don't think he's asking for some money, Lou. He said, "You're making all that money in those pecker pills. Send one over my way, Mitch."
It must have been a butt dial.
You want me to edit that out?
No, you can leave it in. Probably it's a waste of their time at this point. Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry. That was interesting to see.
Maybe he's a fan. He wanted to see if you'd actually answer on air.
Yeah, it's like
You probably should have answered.
Probably should have answered it. This is
Way to go,
You
Lou.
think?
Call him back.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. What else is Senator doing right now?
Once again, I couldn't answer the call. Literally.
Yeah, you knew it was coming in, but just couldn't land it.
Just couldn't hit the yes button.
I know, right? So I just think that whoever this analyst was is spot on because just knowing what I know personally. I haven't used Starlink, but I know what Starlink has, knowing, working through Newton, what we can do remotely now. And that opens up a lot of doors, right?
Starlink is great.
It is.
We use it in our business.
Right? So I'm sure you guys do it. When you're out in the middle of a nowhere, right?
Zero.
And you want to connect, and now you can connect, and now you have the ability to keep real-time data.
Yep.
Instead of having to, do the foot traffic out there. That makes a huge difference.
Big difference.
Right? So,
speeds are good. Latency's a little bit long, but it doesn't matter.
It's going to get better.
Yep.
It's going to get better,
great
and really,
product.
you don't need it to be. Even if it has a little bit of latency, who cares?
For your
needs,
purpose, you don't.
Yeah.
It's not like you're out there gaming.
No, if it's buffering for 15, 20 minutes, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right?
I'm actually looking into getting Starlink subscription.
Are you?
Yeah, the home version.
No, it's fantastic.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
It's like having, it's now, and this isn't the normal 5G network we're talking about. This is up in, we're talking in the, what's the official space term there, ass man?
Official space term for what? Ass man?
Yeah. No. I'm asking you
Have to
as
be Uranus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm asking you as the expert ass man. What is the official term in that orbit that we talked about? You dropped
Just a low Earth orbit.
Low Earth orbit, yeah.
Yeah, but we were talking about how it moves and does all.
Geosynchronous.
Yeah, see, there it is. Look, he just got to you got to pull his stockings up to his neck to get him to get the official terms out.
You got to get the moose knuckle going.
And they're constantly launching satellites.
I know.
It's some will fall out, right?
Did I hear there's like some 4,000 satellites up there?
I don't know. I don't know how
Can
many.
you AI
Actually,
that?
there might be more than that.
Perry, can you AI that? Because I that was like the last I heard, and this is about 14 months ago. So God only knows.
It's interesting. That seems like such a big number, but at the same time, it seems like such a small number,
Right?
for everything that's going on. And isn't that the value of SpaceX? It's if nothing else, it delivers satellites for Starlink
Right.
and all of his other enterprises.
Well, now he has in very high demand because all these companies are getting such a pushback. When communities are shutting down the mega data center build out by 50 to 60% of them because they're saying not in my backyard, right? And we're lucky enough to have Homer City here because we did have a coal plant. So this is a huge improvement for our local community, and our local community is going to benefit because it's the first thing that's really come along in 25 years, since 30 years maybe, that is on the uptick, not the downtick. So.
For the record, 14,500.
Oh my goodness, I was off.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
Yeah. So when you thought you saw a shooting star, that was just another Starlink satellite going down.
Actually, many of the fun fact,
You make a wish on that, you might get an IPO stock.
many of the satellites you can, if you're watching, like if you happen to be laying outside looking up at the sky, you can see them, a lot of them, because they'll rotate and they'll reflect the sunlight, and you can see them moving. They
Do a
look
few
like
of them
stars.
move in packs too? I mean, like groups? Because
Those are the Starlink satellites. They go in a string.
Oh, so they do. So I have seen that, and I was like, "Whoa, that's
wild."
That is.
So what would the theory, the technical theory be behind putting them in streams or running them in streams? Is it so their signal just like bounces one to the other and it is a continuous stream? Do we have any idea what that might be?
Let me just guess.
Okay.
Because that's a good question. If I had to guess, it would be what happens if one of the satellites are out, What happens if one of them are being used? You know, so you can always have something along that. Are they orbiting?
Some orbit and some
say,
like I said, are geosynchronous.
Yeah, so they say that's the
geosynchronous ones are generally the ones that are creating like a matrix around
That's right.
the Earth, so that you can bounce signals off of them.
That's right.
That's the only way you could really do it.
Right, because if you only have one satellite up there, everybody's going to be crowding it up. It's going to be a bottleneck. You're going to get pushed back. It's going to be like, it's going to be like the old dial-up all over again. AOL.
Incidentally, JP looked it up. Of those 14,500, 10,500 are Starlink.
Oh.
He's put up 10,500 satellites.
How do we
Freaking crazy.
How are we getting them back down?
They'll fall down eventually.
We're just gonna let them fall and just see where that shit falls out. Huh?
They're all in the,
Look out your window, Mitch.
Hey, there's one now.
my signal just got really strong.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are in a decaying orbit, but I would imagine
Good luck.
with the technology he has, he could probably go up and correct their orbits. I don't know how often you have to do that, but
Seems like the gas prices right now, that's very expensive.
yeah. Wouldn't want to fill one of those rockets.
No.
You drive into Sheets and fill me up. Give me some rocket fuel.
I hear you.
How about the dude that comes home in 3 years, says, honey, I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. Where are you going? I have to go up into low Earth orbit. I got to go fix this satellite dish.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Elon's sending me up. You know, it's a good gig, though. You know, I get pack a lunch and
Brown bagging it.
You know. Per diem's awesome.
I just made us enough for the next 6 years, honey. It'll be good.
Yeah, right.
And you have the house to yourself for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the workers' comp insurance is on that.
I'll have to get you. I think I've shown you pictures, individual, 1 to 2 minute exposures that I've done, and how many satellites and things streak through. It's unbelievable.
Well, you know, I think before really realizing it, you know, when we first moved here 7 or 8 years ago, I thought, you know, I was seeing a lot of shooting stars. I'm like, that can't be, because it was just things are moving all over the place, right? So you're just going, what is going on? Or am I just
you can see the space station too? Have you ever seen it come over? It's bright. It's real bright.
No, I don't know if I have.
There's an app.
I'm sure I would have
that I have.
Yeah, remembered
Shocker.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see it and you can follow it. It's just a steady speed. And you can watch it go the whole way across the sky. It's pretty neat.
Cool.
Hey, by the way, welcome to the studio, Johnny. It's good to have you back, man.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. I feel really privileged, you know?
Took a break from watching the College Baseball World Series and graced us with your presence.
It's still on. Yeah.
It's still on.
He's got it on.
He's multitasking right now. You got to try one of those wings, Johnny. I'm telling you what, man. They are to die for. Those are good. Those are good.
Hey, before we get too far away from Starlink, I have a question that's, I'm going to try and sound intelligent, but it's steeped in naivety. Does he have a couple layers of redundancy with this so that you talk about the of satellites that are providing the signal? I'm guessing there's redundancy in this system somewhere.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting to. I think there has to be, right? So in case one goes down, you know, how do you, this isn't like you send the, you know.
I think they communicate with each other, Lou.
Okay, so what if,
But what happens if one goes down completely? I mean, that's the problem, right? So, you know,
do you shunt it to another one?
What's the question?
The question is how many layers, there's got to be some redundancy and backup protection should.
For Starlink?
If 3 satellites go down, is there another?
Well, you're a numbers
somebody
guy.
flips the switch and then bounces it off 3 others, and how many different?
Well, they do travel in strings. Have you ever seen them go across the sky? It's like a string of lights.
Yeah.
Like a parade of lights. So maybe that's how he deals with that. That's his redundancy.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think their SLA's uptime is 99.99%.
Really?
On uptime, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's better than ours.
It's insane. Yeah.
Well, he should be the base data for the start, you know, to pitch the whole data centers. I mean, if you can do this with, satellites going around, why couldn't you do it with data centers, right? What is the difference?
I'd say the difference would be, it'd be your speeds. Fiber is going to be always faster. I mean, and those fiber lines are, I mean, they're quick. It's real. I think that is, and for AI,
is it going to look weird to have all those fiber lines kind of going up to the sky?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah,
not if the satellites are if they're geosynchronous, it'd be okay. Then it'd be just sit still.
sitting still. So then you're all right.
I think I really like what you brought up, and maybe we talk about it next segment. But on the this economics we were talking offline, the economics of data centers, AI, and you brought it up more than once now on the idea of these budgets being blown.
Yeah, so quickly, right?
So quickly.
So if you aren't, we definitely need to talk about that, because if Microsoft, if Uber are having they basically are going, whoa, we've seen a lot of this shit, but we haven't seen this.
Yeah.
And we're putting the brakes on, even though all of our engineers are going, man, we love this, right?
They love it.
So how do we make it affordable? Because that was kind of been the pitch of AI is it's not to replace people, but it's to make you more efficient, make it more affordable versus doing it the old way. So now you can definitely get a lot more done, but at what cost?
It's the cost problem now. And you're spending trillions of dollars, right?
Literally.
And there's some estimates where some of these companies need to earn $2 trillion by 2030. And basically the tokenization rate has to, I think, increase by like 50,000 to 100,000.
Jeez. So
just to afford the CapEx.
Just to afford what's going into it and what they're now, the new business model is.
Yep.
So
OpEx burn.
Although you're investing all this additional things and your money and you're becoming more efficient and you're producing all these other great things, is it going to actually turn over into actual income that's going to be coming through the door?
So what you're saying is there's going to be a crash somewhere along the way.
Well, there could be, and that's always been the concern, right? Or there's going to be an adjustment, and I think that's what's going to happen.
I think there'll be an adjustment.
Yeah. So I think as a frontier model, Anthropic was by throwing it out there, and they're able to throw this API because they have the ability to. I mean, when you're talking about being and they breaking into all these showing the vulnerabilities, I should say, not breaking, but showing the vulnerabilities of all these companies, and I'm not talking like podunk companies. I'm talking Fortune 100 companies.
Yeah.
And showing the vulnerabilities within a matter of 20 minutes.
Yep.
That's impressive. And we're not even talking quantum yet. We're just talking AI.
Just AI, not even quantum.
When that Q day comes, that's a whole nother conversation because it's going to get crazy. And my cousin, big shout out to him out in Arizona. I mean, he just announced this week he shut down Static. I told you about Staticom. He's one of the big ghost hunters. He's been on the Discovery Channel and he's done a lot of tours and ghost hunts all over the country, including Gettysburg. He announced that he's coming out with Staticom Quantum. Wow. He decided to shut down 4.0 and just said, you know what, Quantum is the next way. And he's working on it right now, Eric. I'll have to hook you up with him because I'm telling you what, the conversation might be awesome.
That might be awesome. Got to get him on here.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we're definitely going to have him on. Him and his wife, Sherry, too.
Phenomenal.
Well, yeah, no doubt. They're awesome. They're very, obviously they're used to being in front of the camera, but they got asked out in Vegas to go do a show, and the execs out there are like, yeah, we're not going to put you up. We don't want this dog and pony show. We want to see it ourselves. So they did it for them, and they're like, whoa, yeah, pretty awesome.
Pretty good dog, pretty good pony.
Yeah,
right?
It's pretty. I can't explain it because it's beyond my comprehension. But
wait, ghosts are beyond your comprehension?
Well, I know,
Mr. Halloween.
I just enjoy them. I don't try to explain them. I'm a friend, I like
Casper.
I like to house them. You don't need to wander anymore, guys. Just come on in.
There's a home for you here.
There is. You want a coffin? I got that too.
Brad, at some point tonight, we're going to have to talk about your boyfriend. I've been a little bit jealous over the last couple of weeks, so I'm starting to hit on your boyfriend, Claude.
I know. I noticed he wasn't as responsive this week. So tell me.
That's because
what'd you do to him?
the youngins or the old ones are getting in the game now.
Were you bribing him with some ED pills?
No.
You'll know soon enough.
I want to know why he's getting all. He's giving you the firm answers and not me.
Well, he did give me some firm answers. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know if we have enough time in this segment. But
we don't. But when we come back in segment 3, we're going to talk about your interaction with Claude.
I'm going to tell you about Claude.
Yeah, and I loved the text this week when you sent it out and said, all right, which one do I subscribe to? And so when we come back, we'll talk about that. And we are going to bring Louis is going to bring us up to speed on Claude because he's been hearing it from his nephews. He's been hearing it from us. He's been hearing it from the headlines.
I'm bringing AI to the Medicare crowd.
When we come back to it, we're going to send out props to the baseball team.
Oh my goodness! It seems like an eternity ago, but because when we filmed last week, it was the night before, and we all knew they were going to be, But yeah, the baseball team. Wow.
Yeah, awesome.
Wow. Yeah, when we come back, we're definitely going to talk about that.
All right. Cool.
Cheers. See you in a little bit, folks.
Cheers.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we're back in the Bourbon Studios, Indiana, PA. The bourbon's flowing down, the spirits are going up, and we are no pain. We are in the no pain zone right now. I am feeling almost optimal.
Better be careful.
I wouldn't put it there.
He's not at maximum
I'm not
yet.
doing any races yet, but I am thinking I'm taking on Copilot tonight.
How close are you to a headstand?
No, I gave those away for Lent. God will not let me get upside down again.
Probably a good thing. And your wife,
He warned me. You do that again, I'm going to break your neck.
I'm sure.
I understand. I got it.
I'm sure your wife's happy about that too.
Yeah. So you were,
Because if anybody's going to break his neck, it's going to be her.
well, she is the WNFL player, one of the first in the inaugural Pittsburgh Passion
Right?
League.
She was, wasn't she?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the ladies in Pittsburgh, the athletes in Pittsburgh knew the athletes, and they asked her to try out, and she did it on a whim after we were playing co-ed softball, and sure enough, she's, next thing I know, she's starting linebacker and tight end for the Pittsburgh Passion. I'm like, I got to get her pregnant. She's gonna get hurt.
I'm glad to hear she was a tight end.
And then Quinn came along. Thank God. So she never took a real hit.
Was that the semester you and Eddie accidentally signed up for intramural football?
Oh, that was a shit show. Thank God we had the Minnesota Vikings linemen.
How do you try to sign up for basketball and accidentally sign up for football?
Yeah, we accidentally signed up for undergraduate intramural football.
Oh, you were a law school.
Yeah. Us old guys got to run around. We were out of shape. I mean, we were spending 14 hours in the library drinking Starbucks and talking about law.
So you actually did it? You didn't?
We did it. Well, we didn't. We were like, we're not. I mean,
You don't want to be the wuss.
yeah. You obviously know Eddie's, NFL love. He's like, well, this is a omen. And plus, we got John. I can't remember his last name now. I should know it. He played for the Minnesota Vikings for like 8 years. And he was a first-year law student while we were a third-year law student. The guy's 6'8", 325 pounds lineman. So I'm like, yeah, he's going to be center. I'll quarterback. I feel pretty safe. Come at me, little guys.
What was your quarterback?
So you saying you had your hands up his ass?
Well, my quarterback rating was really, no, I was a shotgun. No, I was a shotgun guy,
good,
Mitch.
good.
I was not going up.
Wow, this is only the third segment.
Perry's asking for himself. He's like, listen, I got to see where I can take this. Do I have to sit 5 feet away, or can we get under center?
Oh no, there'll be no shotgun.
I hear you, brother. But so we played, and it was a really, I didn't quarterback the first week, but everybody else tried to quarterback. Then I finally went in and quarterbacked, and we kind of figured out where our position should be. Eddie went to wide receiver. John was center. We had a couple other, really talented kids they're my age at that time, but this feels like 30 years ago. Vinny out there. We made do. We competed. I think we even won a game or two.
Who did you play against? It
was all the serious, frat boys and athletes that couldn't make the Pitt football team, that were probably D3, D2 players,
and pissed off.
Yeah, a lot of anger. I mean, that flag doesn't stop. But man, let me tell you what, that's you need a big 380-pound guy kind of looking. You just need to keep coming with me. You need to graduate early. come to the federal courthouse. I feel safe with you in front of me.
He was in law school?
He was. He went to law
So
school.
he played football, then
Yeah,
I assume
he was a perfect story of somebody deciding to, and that's what's great about law school. You can always go back. Doesn't matter what your undergrad degree is, and as long as you come from a different background, they love it because the law doesn't discriminate as far as when there's an illegal issue. There's legal issues on everything. So did
he finish his JD?
He did,
and then went to play football.
No, he played football for 8 years before.
Oh, okay. So he had already retired from football.
Yeah, and he played with one of the best.
That's cool.
Defensive men. He was telling stories about him. My goodness, talk about strength. It's almost like reminded me a lot of Harrison as far as that defensive end. Just whoa.
Mm-hmm. So hey, Brad, since we're talking about sports,
let's talk about sports now.
What are we going to talk about here locally?
We need to talk about sports because we were talking about how our favorite and proud Indiana team, who's been there, by the way, 3 years in a row.
We're talking about the Indiana high school baseball team.
Yeah, they were back Central PA and they were representing. Came out to a real quick, and when we filmed last week, they played the next day. So it's been 5 or 6 days now. But and by the time this comes out, it'll be a little further. But my goodness, our town could not be any prouder than these boys. They've worked hard through the years. Brian Force and his crew have made sure that they all had the facilities, the training ability, the access after hours. If you wanted to put the work in, you had the ability to go do it. And my goodness, it's shown.
Yeah, no question. Brian and his largesse has really contributed to the changing environment of sports in Western Pennsylvania, at least in Indiana, as we talked a couple of weeks ago. Used to be football, basketball, and now and wrestling was big back then, and now it's lacrosse, hockey, and baseball. And most of it, I think most of the credit, I gave a shout out to Brian because he built the training center for the kids when his kids were in Little League 12 years ago, and now his sons are back-to-back state champions.
I know, right?
Isn't it amazing?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And our very first guest, Dave Brocious' son, Jace, was on the team too. So I mean, it's really cool to see it all kind of come together. All these boys, and obviously
Drew.
we know
Drew Brocious.
I think it was Jace too, right? No,
I don't know. I thought you were talking about Chase Force.
No, it was Drew or
He's
Jace.
talking about Brocious.
Jace.
Yeah, wasn't Drew? Was Drew on there too?
I don't know.
I don't know. He very well might have been, but I did. Dave did send.
I'm sorry.
Dave did send me the picture of him and Jace.
Maybe maybe it was a picture of Drew with Jason.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, he very well might be.
It doesn't matter.
Could be.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Because
interesting.
they're both natural athletes.
Yeah.
In our little town, as most little towns in America, when I don't know if you guys have noticed coming in on 286,
Yeah, I
you
saw
can see
that.
the sign, and now there's two signs. Welcome to Indiana, home of two-time state baseball champion. And this was not up just 5 days ago, 6 days ago. So
somebody didn't waste any
something
time on
it. For something, small towns, I think we need stuff to rally around. And these kids for the last 3 years have given us something
They
to
sure have.
really celebrate 2 times winners. And I think they got some of the kids, a good part of the team coming back.
They do.
Some of their seniors are going to be fortunate to play at the next level.
And a big shout out to the coach, Dan Petroff. I mean,
Dan's done a great job with these kids.
former big leaguer himself, and he got that injury early on that couldn't let him prosper in the big leagues, and he would have been unbelievable. Him and I graduated, I think, the same year or about the same time. He was playing for Punxsutawney basketball, and we almost met up in the semifinals to decide who went to the state championships for Quad A, basketball back then. And that's when Steve Tannehill was in town, and we were battling there. I think they might have had to meet Altoona. I'm not sure how that ended. I think Altoona might have gone all the way that year. They were that good, But speaking of baseball, and I'm going to say this: they made it interesting because it was a great game. We were up 6-2 early, and then all of a sudden it came down to the 7th inning, and we're playing against Holy Ghost, and you're now playing against 12 players because you got the Holy Ghost on the other side.
Uh-oh.
So
Was your cousin involved?
yeah, well, it's
And the father and the son.
yeah, right. So not fair, just not fair.
Well, he intervened on our behalf on that foul ball.
Well, I'll tell you what, that foul ball,
that would've
it
been-
had all
that'd
of
have
our
been-
hearts stopping because, that
That'd have been
7th inning came around and it was kind of like deja vu becoming, 3 years back when we lost the one, so
to that team.
to that team. So it was like a replay all over again. We're like, no, so, and they get a studly hitter up there. I mean, this kid was a stud. I think he was going to St. Joe's, if I'm recalling correctly. I mean, he was a big bat, and he rips one down the left field line, and Pat's on the call going, and you could just feel the angst coming through, and it just missed by a few feet. But if it would have been fair, it'd have been the walk-off home run that would have.
That was it.
Been the comeback. It would have been a three-run comeback in the 7th inning, and yet we held on, and our guys, I think you talk about in the dirt, and they kept working. They've been there before. They lived through it, 3 years ago, and I think that experience, especially with Manzi being on the mound, he really kept his composure. Shout out to all of them. I mean, it's incredible, right? They should be parading them around the town. We should be dressing up, shooting off our bottle rockets, and
I'm sure it's only a matter of time for that.
Yeah. And drinking a bourbon to those boys, right?
Absolutely.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yeah,
the Indiana
cheers,
team,
Cheers to them.
Way to make us proud.
That's exciting.
And not only that, but I do know a lot of the young men on that team, and they are gentlemen. They look you in the eye when they bump into you. They ask you how you doing, and they're as polite as can be. They're all raised by great families.
What's interesting? I think a lot of them they've been in front of the microphone for a couple of years in these events that they've gone to, and they've gone so far. They're learning skills and social skills that a lot of kids don't get at that age. They're being interviewed by this channel, the hometown channel, the hometown TV station, the hometown radio station, and then the visiting team.
You don't get that kind of experience
station.
unless you have your own bourbon podcast in the basement, like Beavis and Butthead.
Brett, what do you think? Maybe we should.
That was one of the funnier. That was funny.
I'd like to say we should have the kids on, but I'm not sure that a bourbon podcast is the way to go. So we'll celebrate you from afar.
We're going to celebrate you from afar, but we will enjoy you guys. When you guys keep doing great things in life, and I know you will because you've already overcome some of the greatest challenges as a youngster. We'll have you back when you're 21 and you can enjoy a bourbon with us.
Proven leadership, no doubt.
Yeah.
Didn't Charlie Manzi suffer an injury last year?
It was
he was playing.
It was either him running home or
it was him running home.
Yeah, he had that
come to
collision.
him to make a play.
He
blew his knee up pretty bad.
What adversity to come back from an injury.
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty bad injury. I mean, his knee was an ugly play.
And that was in the second of the last game, right?
No, that was in the final.
Oh, was it the final?
I think it was the final.
It was
Maybe not.
It was very close to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, it was bad.
It was.
His knee just.
But he looked great.
But he came back and he was the winning.
And he's going down to Seton Hill, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that too. So he's going with
Garrett.
Where Garrett's going. So that's going to be really cool. I hope they stay in touch. And you got two natural athletes. They're good kids. Come from great families. His dad is our district attorney, and very proud to call him our district attorney because he upholds the law to the T.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, you're not going to get there is no. There's not much room for negotiation. You break it, this is what it is. And you know what? You know where you stand. So kudos to him for because it takes work. Knowing as an attorney, if you're going to do that and you're going to take that stance, you better have a staff and yourself that are willing to put the hours in, just like it takes to win a baseball game. And he does it every day in and day out. So you can see where Charlie learned that hard work ethic.
He's not a big believer in the plea bargain.
No.
And in some cases, that's what we need.
Well, it's
tough.
Sometimes. There's a time for plea bargaining, and I think Bob. I haven't been in the criminal system for a while. Well, thank goodness.
Well, I like to say
that's a rabbit hole that we might not want to go down tonight.
I admire it.
I observe at home, man.
I observe from afar.
I just got to roll up the steps and not fall back.
Headstands.
That's where Gus comes in handy,
Last time Brad ran into law enforcement was at the casino when he got thrown out.
Headstands.
Yeah, that was
classic.
That wasn't technically law enforcement, although he flashed me his guard badge. I'm like, listen, I know who you are.
Hey, thank God that's all he flashed you.
Yeah.
The best line was, I give you $100, Mitch. He goes, that's why you can come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, and there's precedent set in this town that you might get kicked off for about 120 days. We know who our dear friend is that couldn't join us that night because he had to go circle around Pittsburgh. But I almost joined him. I was trying to find him in that orbit, that little satellite orbit.
That's a great story.
No luck. Me and the Uber driver went back. A little spill there. It's only the third segment. Third, right? Am I on? Oh, I'm on. All right.
Third. So you're on.
Hey, Brad, do you think you mentioned Uber again? Do you think they're going to have enough money left to be able to provide?
Hell no.
After everything they spent on AI. And,
no, they went
Cursor.
back. They went back to one key at a time coding. It's a lot cheaper to.
The finger.
It's the poke and hope theory, you know. It's like, hey, this should go through. Send.
The hunt.
Damn it!
Hunt and peck.
Back to the drawing board again.
There's an error in my code somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, let's find it.
I hope that doesn't put a fly or a flaw in the ointment. We're trying to get Uber to work with us on the fall off from maximum lubricity to Asshole when you need a ride home.
I don't know if you're coding or not. You still got to get home if you're hitting maximum lubricity, and there's no better place to do it than Lyft or Uber. Just let us know who wants to get the ride home.
Yes.
What was the one with the mustache? Was that Lyft?
Oh, mustache.
There's one that had like a mustache on it. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Was that
Was it
Lyft?
Lyft? Was it Lyft?
Oh,
Okay,
was that a porn mustache or was that a Raleigh's mustache?
It was a mustache. Like it was a stash.
Got the old dick broom on, you know? It's like,
Wow.
ready to go.
We're in the fifth segment.
That's definitely fifth segment banter right there.
we just totally zoom through 3.
Well,
wave to 4 on the way by, and we're right in the fifth segment.
Speaking of how we zoom there, let's talk about the Wellers.
Hey, you know,
This is
there's
damn good, and I feel like they got coffee beans in there. I'm just feeling like
There's definitely a
little
correlation between which segment we're on and the lubricity stages.
Well, there's no question. It has to be. I mean, that's the crux of my argument, and my XY axis is as the bourbanometer goes down, actually the lubricity goes up, and
to a
as you
certain
have
point.
to stop that.
We may only film 4 segments tonight.
I can split one up into 2.
Yeah, right.
So Lou was using Claude.
No, yes. I was wondering why it wasn't answering me for a while there. I thought it was like a latency, like we were talking about with the the satellites.
You stole your dude.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, Mitch.
I did.
I get that from time to time.
Call him Mitch.
I do. So I'm like, listen, you aren't answering. I know you're working, but I'm paying you top dollar. I expect you to work when I ask.
Who the hell is more important than me?
And what's the first thing you do is you test your internet at home. Is it my internet or is it Claude just ignoring me?
Yeah. No, Uncle Lou was on.
Oh, it does
There you
not.
go.
It did not show up in their issues.
What'd you do? What'd you do with it, Louis?
So Sunday night, I got a feed on Instagram, and it said, if you have ADHD, one of the best things you can do is learn how to use AI. It keeps you motivated.
Well, we all need
your
that.
need for information, right? So
It's been a savior for this guy. I mean, all of a sudden I'm not taking naps.
right. So
I'm sleeping very little.
no, but so anyhow, I ended up having Monday some free time Monday. So I thought, okay, I'm going to see if what I got on my Instagram feed was accurate. So I sat my ass down and I decided I'm going to subscribe to Claude because you've told me that's your boyfriend, and my nephews have told me, Uncle Lou, it's going to change your life. So I went on and signed up for Claude, and the first thing I did was I had an Excel spreadsheet with about 8 columns, old school Excel spreadsheet, and I simply said, how do I load this? And it says, click here and look at the paperclip and just add the Excel spreadsheet.
It's almost like adding an attachment to an email.
Exactly, right? So, and please understand, I'm talking to the 65 and up crowd here because that's where I'm at, and I think we're all intimidated by this.
It's so important that you do because the more people I talk to, not just here in Indiana, but all around, in my AI travels and even online, it's intimidating because you think it's artificial intelligence. It's this new, wave of technology, and it is. But the new wave is making it easier for us as common folks. And I say common folks, I mean the guys that aren't trained on, how to code, to do Python, to, you know, you may know how to do this, Eric, you know, at your Carnegie Mellon days, but you know, most people don't. And that used to be, you know, one of the most sought after skills, and it was. And you know, I've talked about that. It's not going to, and we talked about with Abhishek, you know, it's not going to replace these guys. It's just going to allow them to be that much more effective.
Sure.
Because and efficient, and they know what to ask, you know. So continue with your discussion, because it is that easy. It's like adding an attachment to an email when you want to add.
It was very simple, and so I added the attachment, and then I said, "Can you take my Excel spreadsheet and turn it into a 9-page PowerPoint?"
Mm-hmm.
And I hit send, and it starts doing blah, 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 blah. It's going through its thing.
Mm-hmm.
In a minute and a half, I had back a 9-page PowerPoint, which was exactly what I was trying to say in my simple Spartan binary, just that little white column spreadsheet was now in a multicolored PowerPoint presentation.
And you sent that to me. That was impressive.
And for me, that was such a huge step.
It is.
I actually needed it for a call, and I wanted to have as a reference for myself. I decided to send it to the gentleman on the other end of the line, and he said, "Thank you so much for sharing this PowerPoint. This explains so much more than I could have gotten if you and I were just talking about this. Right. It would have taken us 2 or 3 calls to go through this because we had it in hand. It would have taken me a month to come up with that the old-fashioned way. So and I am now a big Claude fan.
Well, and I'm glad you are. And I know you haven't had a chance to try ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini or Meta AI or Grok or any of the other, you can Perplexity that takes it's kind of like a bourbon blend of 4 or 5 of them. So, but I would say Claude is amazingly accurate. When it comes to that, you're not going to have to change word. I mean, the spelling, like one of the issues like 5-6 months ago was, they're going to spit it out there into this PowerPoint, but there's going to be a lot of misspellings. You're going to have to, you're going to, you know how we spend time back and forth on we were talking about the spreadsheets, Perry, creating that spreadsheet and having to spend the time. That was the early days of AI. You were going back and forth because everything's great, but that one word's still misspelled. And it's like, huh? What word?
Well, yeah.
And after asking, I just kicked the damn dog. But no, the thing about it back then was it pretended like it didn't know it, or it would just keep trying to do other things. And then it would start changing other things, and then you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm down this rabbit hole of can I just go back to where I started from because it was so much cleaner then." And I'm telling you, maybe your entry into the AI world right now is the perfect timing because it is so amazingly accurate.
It was actually, I had made a mistake on my Excel spreadsheet. And when it kicked it out, it had interpreted my spreadsheet exactly as written. Then I discovered my error and I said, "Can you please change on page 7, can you change 0 to 1? It started calculating because it wasn't just there. It changed a few other pages in the PowerPoint as well.
Hey, by the way, do you want me to change this? Because it's the same thing. The reasoning is...
It did it on its own, Brad.
I know.
And then I found out that I actually gave it I made an error on my spreadsheet. Then I erred in telling it what to correct. So I had to ask it to, can you reverse the last correction you made? Within 10 seconds, it went back to my first page. Then I corrected my
Which,
error.
again, you couldn't do before. Because once you got down the rabbit hole, you had to open a whole new chat, start all over again.
This was amazing.
It was
to
infuriating.
me. It was truly amazing. And as I say, it's intimidating at this age to start something new. But boy, what a tool.
It's fun.
I can't imagine where it's going to go I don't know that I'm going to have free time anymore because now I want to do it. I want to embrace it. I want to create things.
Well, and that's what's so much fun. You're back and forth creating something. And like I said to you guys last night, finishing my review of 3,800 legal entries, it was a heavy lift to go back to January 1st to the current time. That's how many that Cursor and Claude found for me through my agentic, and I call it team out there. I have 100 agents that are going out and scraping every night. So, and you don't want to make those scrapings too tight, right? because you want to be overly inclusive than underly inclusive. So I make sure I can then work through all the noise and bring the concise, legal digest to the attorneys. But you would think this would be so boring, going back and forth and watching it evolve, going back and forth and watching it. And one of the best things you can ask Cursor or Claude, just if you're just going back and forth, that is take that spreadsheet if you have an extra day, open a new chat when it's not remembering what you did, upload it, same way you did, that attachment, and ask it, look at the spreadsheet. Now, what would you do to improve it to make this the most professional, powerful, yet concise message as I'm trying to convey XYZ?
Sure. What I found to be the most dynamic facet of this for me was one of the things I miss is our company we're remote. We have a guy here, a guy here, a guy here, a guy here. I almost felt like I had 3 people in the same room with me working, and while this one was doing one thing, this one was doing another thing, the third one was doing something. It was all being done in
cool,
wherever
right?
that thing is.
Well, you should see
it was like hanging out with 5 people and doing 5 weeks worth of work
Lou,
in less than 5 minutes.
let me share with you real quickly the way it's been the last week or two with me up in my little box, as I'm a man in the box.
I knew that was coming. Bow.
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 I'm the man in the box.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, right. Oh, one of the best.
What's our attention span? Like a half a second here?
Mr. Staley? He had one of the finest voices, right? Oh,
Unbelievable.
It's our song, and I initially did it because I thought Perry was in the box, but I realized it's me.
No, I've come out.
I am that man up in my little office.
Wow.
And speaking of which, just to wrap this up, I have Gemini doing one task. I have Cursor doing one task. I have in Cursor, you can choose from a drop-down menu of ChatGPT. You can draw from Opus 4.8. You can draw from the sonnets. You could draw from the Fable, the Mythos.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that is another headline that we kind of missed on.
Fable,
That was
Bob, and
yeah,
Mythos.
because we were talking about how they came out.
Exactly.
When we come back in the 4th segment, I'm going to talk about that a little bit because that was crazy. How
We're
they
going
all
to talk
played
about
out.
the bourbon, too.
And right. We haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Then it won't be the first
See?
segment. Episode.
And you guys were worried about what we were going to talk about.
Does that mean we're done?
And I think
No, we're
Just
done
for
for
this
just this segment.
Really?
Yeah, Perry whispered sweet nothings into my ear and said, guys,
Yeah,
you were.
he did.
He goes. He goes.
Man.
He goes. You
Every
guys
time
were
Perry whispers sweet nothings, some guy finishes.
right.
Oh,
Man,
hey.
if we can only have something that could also
You're
help some
right.
guys finish.
And we're finished.
And we'll be right back after this.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
Oh yeah, we're right here. We haven't gone anywhere.
It's like we just signed on.
I know, right?
My favorite when TJ was on and we decided to let him do the and we're back.
Oh, that
He
was
goes, and we're
brilliant.
back, and Brian goes, we're back.
You weren't getting away with that calm shit.
That was so funny. Did
Listen,
to
Mr.
Louis, too.
Caffeine, I know behind the scenes that caffeine is pumping.
That's right.
Give me this calm and composed. We were talking about our ADHD. God, I got all 4 letters out that time.
You did.
Hey,
That's the first time I've ever
progress.
done that. I got to be honest. Usually I'm like lost halfway through. I'm like, well, I'm on to the next thing. But anyways.
No, as we were talking offline, and you were talking about all your agents and whatnot. And I asked, first of all, There's a lot of people that want to know, what is an agent? Can you explain real quick what an agent is to some of our listeners?
It's a little bit elusive, kind of like that Holy Ghost team. It's kind of like that, unlike the normal AI, what they call narrow AI, and I'm trying to get serious again. Amongst the bourbon and the Wellers is very good, by the way. And we're going to get to that.
We're going to have to talk about that.
We're going to get to that in a second. But the narrow AI is very focused. So when AI originally came onto the scene, it was very task oriented. So we talked about, can you please do this task? We're talking about spreadsheets, creating, marketing material. It had one task and it only knew how to do that one task. And it didn't veer, off that task. If it did, it was very rare. So it was easy to control. Well, these new GPUs that we've been talking about, that the mega centers that are so eager to build out, they're allowing, in these new models that they've trained, all this training, all this data that they've collected, all the data that they've been fighting through the courts on as to whether or not they had the right to train on. And Meta and a couple others are like, you know what, we're just gonna, we need to be the first to the finish line. So if it costs us a little more to pay for the repercussions of it, we're okay with it. And that seems to be the business model. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not. It just seems the way it's playing out, and it's still happening to this day as these cases are going through, as I've been going through 3,800 of these laws that are playing out before us. So an agent takes it to the next level, Lou. So an agent is very much so now getting out of the computer realm and more into the human realm. It's like me asking an employee, would you please do this? And I'm not telling them exactly how to do it. I'm asking them as to the task I'm asking it to do, figure it out. And now based on all the training that this agent has done, and it has a vast amount of data that is behind it. And it also has the ability to learn from itself. And this is where it's really moved on. That inference level has moved on to the next level, where it keeps compounding, keeps getting better. And so now, you talked about the conversations you have with Claude. Well, the conversations that I'm having with the agents that are going out every night, they are learning. I'm giving them feedback. They're feedbacking off of that. They're figuring out from themselves, coming back and saying, this isn't working, but maybe what do you think about this? It's a powerful dynamic that is going back and forth between and I use it loosely now because I'm not technically the programmer. The agents are. I'm just kind of that human in the loop that is making sure.
Do agents retire?
No, they don't retire. They do.
What was that awkward silence?
I know. I was looking at him like, what? I thought maybe Eric was one of the agents I was talking to the other night. I was like,
Eric
are you
right
CIA? Speaking of which, can I just share with you guys a few funny things I've been reviewing in the laws that have been passed?
Yeah.
You talked about whether or not what was the question off?
So I was interested, and I think it was Argentina. But can an AI agent form its own corporation?
It was a good question.
Incorporate or LLC or whatever kind of company you want to.
So right now, that all depends on the state,
which is unreal.
Which is unreal. So let me give you a couple examples that I've been.
It's off the chart to me.
But it is, right? So now we're talking, computers, self-thinking, human-like, neurologically wired in a computer way. And it's definitely different. Trust me, between the brain wiring and the computer wiring, it's different, but it's multi-layered. It's inference. We talked about the edge cases with, Acme, selling all their imaging, up in the Connecticut area. Little did they know they were sitting on a gold mine when Anthropic walked around the corner. But
right.
It's interesting because some of the laws that are on the table right now that are pending are stating, if you're a computer and you're a model, if you're AI, you get no rights. you don't have the right to do this. They're
actually writing.
They're writing laws
writing
now.
like they're speaking to the computer.
It's almost laughable, right?
The computers have won.
Well, we're getting close.
It's over.
I mean, because if you realize the legislators are now spending their time to write laws to say no, they can't do that. So let me give you an example where it has started. Utah. They just announced last week that they have the first fully autonomous AI agent law firm, and it's in their what they call their sandbox. Which brings me back to great days. You know, you're talking about getting held back in kindergarten. I spent a lot of time
In a sandbox.
in the sandbox.
Can't help
Get a lot of
himself.
frustration. You get a lot of frustration out there. Just keep digging. I tell you what, gonna hit pay dirt eventually.
They dig to China. Dig in the hole of China.
That's right. So
You're back to Utah.
Utah, yeah. Well,
Thank you, Lou.
and Utah is not going to be the first, or they're not going to be the last. They are the first, which is bold. And there's other platforms that are out there. I'm not sure if they're legally operating, depending on the state laws. I haven't looked at independently, but I've noticed in my connections on LinkedIn, you know, saying the first AI true lawyer, you know, or this. I'm very straightforward, and I try to be as transparent as possible because most of the laws that are out there right now are all about disclosure, transparency, accountability, right? You know, when it comes to AI, and I want to be all that. So when I use AI in my company that I'm forming, it's to say it's assisted, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be a human looking over it. I'm going to make sure before it goes out the door, you know.
So
there may be a human error, but it's not. Hopefully, it's not going to be AI. You know.
So you're and speaking about agents, Brad. You mentioned a couple of times that you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you'll just jump on and you'll start working. Mm-hmm. Is there a case where, and this is a crazy ass question.
Well,
is there a case where Claude woke you up and Claude initiated the interaction?
No, that hasn't happened yet. No, I'm guessing.
Yet.
Is that the operative word there?
Well, I think that's what's coming. So and that's where we're trying to be cutting edge with Docket Daily. We're kind of the proactive versus the reactive. You know, everything that's in the law right now is you search it, you find it, and you get trained, you know, tirelessly in law school how to search, how to find, you know, the perfect exact case or the statute or the regulation that applies to your issue at hand. It's changing. So now,
Sure.
So now you have the ability to be proactive, where you stay ahead of it. And that's been my commercials. You know, look, you can sit there and have your coffee in the morning. You don't have to go through all the white noise of sifting through all this, you know, crap out there, all the different keywords, all the indexes, all the emails. We go through it, you know.
Sure. And I get that in the context of your
law.
Yeah.
So, but now you're asking in the context of
general conversation. Like in my case, would Claude ever wake up and say,
not
hey,
yet, but
would he
I do-
initiate the feedback?
No, and it's funny you
Without
asked.
me-
It's funny you asked that because I was thinking that the other day too. You know, it would be so cool. This is the next future, and as we're talking, this feature's probably already been going through, you know, prototyping in all of them, right?
Betas.
And where that prototyping comes in though, Lou, is in the memory, because that's what it's been lacking. So, you know how I talked about, you know, when you get into Claude, open up a new chat the next day, it's not going to remember what you did. Mm-hmm. That's going to change. So it's the memory chips, and we talked about that. And it goes back to my stock pick, you know, Samsung. Although Samsung's, I don't know, might not even be trading, but but you know, it's whoever's, you know, getting the memory chips out there. And again, I'm not a stock guy, so I'm just going to tell you where it's at, and it's the memory chips. Mm-hmm. They're in high demand, and now. These models are realizing that if they can remember your preferences, remember, you know, the fact that this you said my workflow needs to be X, Y, Z, and I remember that next time instead of you having to reiterate every time you go into that chat. And if anybody's out there that's done that, you understand exactly what I'm saying. You it's like your notes. I have 900 notes in my Apple phone because it's like you have to copy and paste. All right, let me throw it back into Claude, tell you exactly how to do it again. You know,
interestingly, when I was doing my project Monday, I now have 5 different chat or Claude things going because I was afraid if I closed out this conversation I would not be able to go back to
Right.
that PowerPoint that it made for me and make corrections on it. So now I have all these different
But the cool thing
tabs open.
Yeah, but the cool thing you realize is like folders, right? So you go into that side panel and you see all the folders, and you can go back into the and it summarizes it kind of by the first thing you did. So it's the you can go back, in time. But what I realized through working tirelessly through all these channels, and you think you can go back, there seems to be a limit for every one of those folders. So if you've taken it down the line where it starts hallucinating, and you'll realize that you got to pay attention to that quickly. You can't rely on everything it's spitting out at you. If it starts throwing stuff at you that's not true, you're like, oh, why are you doing this? And then if you realize it did it a second time, then you realize, you know what? This chat is at the end of its allotted time. So to protect, because data center space is rare. That's why they're building it. So to protect the GPU usage, so Brad Martineau doesn't dominate it, and Anthropic doesn't have to go out and they do have to build data centers in space, but probably because of me. But
you're the reason.
I'm the sole reason, and Claude's going, we need to unionize.
You'll be cool. You'll be cool if you had Claude on here.
Oh, I agree. Well, you know what? We should, we were talking about, voices.
That goes to the next question that I was going to ask you.
So
about.
are you chatting or are you voice talking?
See, I'm actually just typing in.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't even got to the point
Me too.
of
So
interaction.
you do
but
realize you can just also talk back and forth.
I did not know that.
So, and I'm going to pull it up here, and I hope our listeners can hear this. So this is Claude, and they have a voice category, or if you select voice, you select your language, you select your speed. I take slow because
you need to.
I definitely need it to walk me through, especially after
At 2:30 in the morning.
2 or 3 bourbons or 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, either way, it's bring it at me. You're like one at a time.
Yeah, well, slow down.
Slow down. Big pictures.
Attaboy, Mitch.
Big letters.
Yeah.
All right. So the very first voice setting they have on here is buttery.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that?
Hey, can I hear buttery?
Can we let's
Put it up by the mic.
let's put it up by the mic, right?
Buttery.
Betty Botter bought some butter, but the butter Betty Botter bought was bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my batter better.
Well, there's no way that's slowing you down.
Better butter. Betty Botter bought some butter, but the butter Betty Botter bought was bitter.
And that's slow.
If I put it-
What the hell?
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually
The butter was better.
I accidentally I just played the My ED Med commercial.
And
You know what happens there? Together we rise.
oh, that was wild.
The butter was better.
Mists and coldest frosts, with stoutest wrists and loudest boasts.
Stoutest
he thrusts
wrists?
his fists against the posts, and
is going
still
on?
insists he sees the ghosts.
Huh?
Amid the mists and coldest frosts, with stoutest wrists.
What kind of poetry is
Yeah, I was gonna say Perry. What
That is
boat
airy.
this?
That they call that airy. AIRY. She may be my
She's
new
talking like this.
So
Claude tomorrow. She says, was it stoutest wrist or stout wrist?
Stoutest.
I think she said stout,
And
which I
ghost.
didn't even know it was a word.
All in one sentence. Wow. She had me at that both.
So let me ask you this. That's interesting to me. That I didn't know you could do that on a voice activated system. How about
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. The fuzzy
Are you telling it to do that? It just doesn't?
That was mellow.
That was mellow.
Fuzzy Wuzzy?
I think we
That's
just
like a second grade thing.
we totally just got Giggle Mitch back.
We got 2 of them. Look how red their faces are.
All right.
Okay.
Should we continue?
Yes.
I don't know if I can take it anymore.
I can't take it anymore. I'm sure they should have a bourbon one on here, like 5th segment,
They should.
If not, I'm creating that one tomorrow.
What's the next one? Do one more.
Practice makes perfect, and perfect needs practice. I'm perfectly practiced and practically perfect. If practice makes perfect.
Whoa.
I want to meet her and I want to practice with her.
The shells she sells are surely from the sea. So if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells.
Yeah.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
These are like old nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes again. Fuzzy.
Fuzzy
Well,
Wuzzy
you guys,
wasn't
you guys
fuzzy,
all know
was
which
he?
one I chose.
Jeez.
Fuzzy was a bear. The fuzzy bear was fuzzy.
They have an Andrew Dice Clay version.
Dickory, dickory, dog.
You know, it's funny you say that because I was talking with Brett Price last night after the SWAT, and we were talking about Siri, you know, and how that damn bitch just listens every time, you know. Not even talking to her, and all she pops up and goes, "Hey, you know what? You know?" And I said, "No, I'm not talking to you." But I thought, you know, I need something that's going to talk back to me like I talk back to them.
Yeah, you do.
So maybe what we need to form is a sarcastic Siri.
I think we do. I think that'd be great.
Like, motherfucker, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I've been listening to you for the last hour and a half. Go on about
What songs you like?
Yeah. I've watched your podcast for like 2 minutes, like most listeners, and that's enough.
Do it again. I have a serious question, actually. When we get to it.
A Siri question or serious?
Serious one.
Oh, you're adding
Wait,
yes.
save that for segment 5.
Okay, we'll save it for segment 5.
I have a serious question
where
by the
we were.
seashells on the sea.
How many?
If Fuzzy Wuzzy
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
if Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bourbon, would he be a bottle of Weller's?
Oh.
If I had a bourbon barometer by my seaside by the bed, I would get a bourboner.
I don't know what to do.
He just rattled off every butchered word he's ever said on this podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was awesome.
It's all in one clip. You can just
We're going to repeat that.
you can just put it in a little clip.
We're going to slow it down, break it down on the video.
Well, that's just like that. And you know, this is on the slow version. Can you imagine on the fast? Let's goodness.
Do Fuzzy Wuzzy really fast.
We have to save our serious questions for next week.
We might.
Do Fuzzy Wuzzy really fast, and we got to talk about the bourbon.
Oh yeah, we will get to
Man,
the
holy
bourbon.
sidetrack.
Yeah.
now, man.
I think we're talking about it by drinking it.
Piper
So-
Pete.
Yeah, we could talk about the bourbon in the fifth segment.
Let me go to fast.
Well,
and
That's what
good.
gets us.
let me go to the.
Bought some butter, but the butter Betty Botter bought was bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter. Betty Botter bought some butter, but the butter Betty Botter bought was bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter.
That's airy.
It is airy.
Come on, Fuzzy Wuzzy as fast as it'll
Fuzzy
go.
Bear was Wuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
And that's fast.
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy Wuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Doesn't seem any
Fuzzy Bear
faster.
was Wuzzy.
Doesn't seem too fast.
Fuzzy Wuzzy
Doesn't
had
really
no
seem
hair.
fast.
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very.
Let's go to Glassy.
Practice makes perfect, and perfect needs practice.
Somebody's had enough of our shit.
Practically practiced and practically perfect.
Yeah, I like
if
her.
Practice
Yeah.
makes perfect, and perfect needs practice. I'm perfectly practiced and If practice
Practically
makes
perfect.
She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are surely from the
What's
sea.
that accent? Like Russian or
Maybe
something?
like Caribbean or
Seashells on the
something.
seashore.
Oh, you know, you've been traveling.
Then
Yeah.
I'm sure she sells seashore shells.
Yeah.
She sells
Yeah.
seashells by the seashore. The shells
That's the
she
problem with
sells
Claude. You
are
can never get
surely
to
from
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I even just exited out. You know, it's still.
Louis.
Still going.
Go dogs.
Oh yeah, it's like getting back to the.
Back
Dr.
to little
Rich.
college baseball.
Yeah.
But, hey, no, just one more serious question, if I could.
Oh, please.
In the context of your agent, if we talk about male and female thinking differently, do agents have a more? Are they biased one way in their thought process, or can they detect that it's a male asking a question, if that's actually discernible versus a female? Does it become does it have anything to do with your gender or sex, whatever you call it in today's
Well,
world? I
I'm
don't
going to
know.
give you my
Man
my
or
personal
woman.
experience and what I think, and it probably has no bearing as to what really is happening behind the scenes. The agents and the platforms, you know, whether it's the agents and we're calling it agents now, but you know, whether it's Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot, their task is to learn your everyday moves and to assimilate to you, so you can actually utilize and look to this as being your go-to you talked about being in the room with 5 or 6 different people. So they want to be that person in the room to help you out. So they're going to modify whatever they're doing, and they're trained to do that. And you've heard some of the flow back. Sometimes you're not getting the real honest answer because they're just always trained to please. So they're going to tell you whatever you think you want to hear.
Go ahead, Eric.
So
was that the case last night?
It was. But if you think about the human brain and you think about biasness, right? Mm-hmm. We all try to be as unbiased as possible, but there's always going to be an element of being biased. It's not nature nurture. It is. We are biased,
which is going to work its way into the data set it's trained on.
Correct. So how are these companies, Anthropic, OpenAI, how are they reversing? This is interesting. Mm-hmm. How are they reversing and chatting back?
Is it synthetic
to
data?
reverse biasness? Where they understand the bias of the user, and how are they working it back?
That's the very first most important fact, is understanding it. Because if you don't know it exists, then how do you deal with it?
So these models, then, I would hope it would be very interesting, where humanity becomes less biased through using these models. Because
and that's where I was going.
The unbiased. I think that's where you.
That's where I was going, because in my experience, I see no gender at all. In fact,
so none of your feedback, you could not tell if.
And
if
I don't do voice.
Okay.
So I don't do voice. So I do text back and forth, and in that conversation, there's no gender to it. It's
that's a good thing. I mean, that falls under the just the facts,
but
non-biased feedback.
But I think, in some of the pushback was, well, these models are great, but if they're always just meant to please, you're not going to get the real value that they deserve, right? So sometimes,
but you're not asking it for. You're either asking it for facts or to work in something that you need to complete. And the objective of that is once it's complete, you are satisfied. Yeah. So that is the goal, right? Is to help you complete a task. Correct? So it would be to please. It's not asking you what's your favorite steak so I can get it for you. In that context, it's pleasing in a sense that I will help you complete the task you've asked me to do.
Yeah, and a lot of those tasks are usually micro, so and it's hard to. I would say it's hard to put them on a metric. So I think a lot of these platforms, and again, I'm not on the LLM training side, and thank goodness, because there's a lot more regulatory issues going on there than there are anywhere else. But when you're dealing with that, and you're talking about the biasness of the data. Mm-hmm. The one thing when it comes to operational, AI governance is to make sure that if you're seeing biasness come out, and if the models start to drift, then you have to adjust.
How do you self-correct?
So you have to self-correct. So, and how do you do that? Sometimes synthetic data,
yes,
is the best way because it's a controlled model.
Yep.
Hey, Brad, have you ever tried to trick it?
Yep.
By putting incorrect information in and asking it to process that incorrect?
I just do it naturally. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, I knew that was wrong too. Shame on you. Gotcha. Who feels dumb now?
I do. As I said, this is my first week into this, and I'm so fascinated by
I'm glad
what it can become. And now I know what you've been chirping about.
I'm so glad you popped your Claude cherry this week.
I did, and I look forward to my next task.
And there's an alliteration you didn't think I was going to throw out there, was there?
No, I didn't see that coming either.
Couple CCs right to the back.
What will be your next task?
I'm.
Oh my goodness! It is my favorite lady of the hour.
I'm sure she gets a taste of it as well.
Oh, Tanya, welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, we are taping. We're in the fourth segment.
We're just getting started.
Come on down. Oh my goodness! We're so happy to see you.
Yeah.
How was Wine Club?
It was good.
Good.
Awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
Come on up. The Wellers is awesome. We're going to talk about that, by the way. We're not getting away from the Wellers. Yeah.
Who's sushi certified. It was
Really?
fantastic.
Oh, was it good?
Brooke
You guys
Lamar.
get your own special
Brooke Lamar.
chef?
Yeah, Brooks Lamar. He's
He has his own sushi catering business.
yep,
Is that who it is? Yeah.
he's phenomenal.
You,
Yeah.
They get a custom special chef?
They did.
Well,
Yeah.
that's our chef, right?
He's the club chef.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
He's one of our assets in the back that we haven't really brought out front.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I agree.
Awesome.
Continue, I'm sorry.
No, Tony, come down.
No.
I'm so happy you're here.
We got the Wellers.
No, we're talking.
We're gonna say we'll
What
say
about your
some.
football days?
We're talking. Yeah, we did talk about the passion
Well,
a little bit.
we did.
You were part of the topic.
We did.
in the first segment. Yeah.
Oh, I was the first one to take you out of the game. It was about you. I wanted to make sure you were safe and sound.
Win.
I looked at that running back you guys had. My goodness, it was Hercules.
You were a little intimidated.
I was. This Hulk Hogan flowing hair, and she was huge.
Oh.
I mean,
Well,
Say like Thor, not Hulk Hogan.
Thor.
like Thor, yeah. Well, Hulk Hogan, Thor, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, Hulk's a little. She had the
Thin up
full.
top.
Yeah, she had the full.
He's thin up top.
And she ran over you. I mean, I'm telling you what.
Gorman said all her people down there listen to your podcast.
Oh well,
Nice.
that's awesome. And we were,
we
guys,
go.
we were sharing some stats today, and I don't want to bore you with this stuff, but because we've been talking about how
You're
agents
going to anyway.
just for 2 seconds, Mitchell.
That's all right.
No, so we thought we were growing so fast, and we are on Apple, but Spotify all of a sudden came out and they threw like a big old email banner at me. Did I send you guys the screen clip of that?
No, I didn't,
I didn't see that.
No,
Yeah,
so-
no.
I saw the stats.
No, so they do this very impressive, photo with this,
Nice.
you had 9,700 hours of listening time on Spotify in May. Like,
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
those AI agents are working so hard. That's not true.
9,000 hours.
I know. That's crazy, right?
pretty-
Do you think some of that was we were doing the daily
That's
early in
I
May,
figured.
weren't we?
Yeah,
Listening to the whole
Maybe
podcast.
that might have contributed to it.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like it at the
Whole
time.
podcast.
Oh,
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you? I haven't even listened to the whole podcast.
I
No,
have
but I
once.
told you, no,
Twice.
most people don't. Most people don't. They only can
I
take
listen
us.
every week.
They take us in small doses, and I understand. Just
I take us in small doses.
Yeah.
you're like, listen, I've heard that fucking laugh in my ear long enough. I gotta
Oh, hey,
I gotta go take an Advil.
We're almost out of time, so let's take
right,
a break
let's-
and take an Advil.
let's
refresh
wrap it
our
up.
drinks, and then we'll come back.
Let's come back to the fifth segment, and we will talk about the bourbon.
No question.
Bourbon
we
has
will.
to be spoken about.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Jeff.
When I come back, I'll be talking mildly glassy.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we're back for the fifth segment.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Where that's what you're going to get in the fifth segment.
You can keep him down, but he's never out.
Never
know.
out, no doubt.
If you were trying to enjoy that plane ride, that car ride, or
And
that
by-
partner ride, and you were listening to me right now, you're going, holy fuck.
Okay, before we get sidetracked,
All right.
let's talk about
talk
the
about
Weller.
Oh,
The bourbon.
it's about time, right? Since
We
this
have
is a
to.
bourbon podcast.
Well, I've been trying for 4 segments
I
to
know
get
you've
this
been
in.
trying. It's like trying to corral kindergartners at their
It
first
is.
year.
I caught a baby bunny. I caught a baby bunny in my yard the other day weed eating. It was easier to handle him than it is to handle you guys. And it wasn't easy.
Oh,
He's a cute little guy, though.
tricky.
I'll send you the picture. You can post it on the.
Little baby bunny by the bushes.
Susie by the seashells.
Can we show Weller some respect?
Weller's lovely bourbon.
Apparently not.
Perry, we got Giggle Mitch going again. It's amazing.
You know, he since he got rid of his back pain, he's a much more joyous person.
Oh, I am.
Look how joyous.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, it's more not chronic pain that's coming out. It's more mental. Trust me. Feel me when I say this.
You guys won't understand this pain.
This shit hurts. Just can't see it.
It's somewhere inside.
Oh my god.
But Perry, let's bring it back to Weller.
Yes,
all right. This beautiful bourbon we are drinking, and have almost drank all of it.
It's delicious. And it's pretty obvious that we've had most of it.
Oh, does it have coffee beans in it? Because I feel a little extra today.
No, but it's a wheated bourbon.
Ooh,
so
what?
instead of rye, they use wheat.
Oh, wheat.
And it gives it a smoother, little bit sweeter.
I thought they got
taste.
all the weeds out of there before they did it.
And actually, it's they claim to be the original wheated bourbon. I don't know if that's true or not.
It might be.
And I don't know if we've had another wheated bourbon on here, have we?
Ooh,
Eric? I don't know that we
I
have.
don't think so. Maybe
we had the
corn-based.
one that had. I don't remember which one that had a very heavy corn bill.
Well,
It was a
I think
few
the
weeks
closest
ago.
one we would come to would probably be our neighbor, the Bessemer.
Oh, is that wheat? Is that a heavy wheat bill?
Well, I think it is right now because it's the old school, right? Louis, can you grab that bottle?
Yeah, the Bessemer.
It's right on the top
That's
shelf
Iron
here.
City Distilling.
Yep. That is from the Icy Light Distilling, and we have one of the special bottles.
That's right.
It's a rye, so yeah. So I'm mistaken.
It's a hot rye.
It is.
It's a very hot rye. Yes, that one is.
But we tried it, right?
Yeah. It lasts for a little bit.
No, it is hot. It's 107.6.
Yeah, I think we're working with 90 here tonight. Right?
Yeah, this is 90 proof.
That's why
Yeah.
it's going down so fast,
really
not because we're
nice.
just
Oh, it's so
ridiculously-
easy.
or not because we have to do 5 segments over again.
Yeah. We've done this is like the ninth. It's like the ninth segment. This is the third, fifth segment.
I like yeah.
Yeah.
If it's the third, fifth, does that mean it's the 15th?
It's kind of
Whatever you want to say, Louis.
It feels kind of like
Yeah.
the 15th.
It's a third, fifth bank.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's how they got their name.
Perry, question for you: is this Weller's this mash bill? Is this similar to Pappy?
It is actually some of the research I was doing and reading about it. They mention so it's distilled at Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
And they mention specifically a lot of similarities to Pappy Van Winkle.
Okay.
It's just not, but like they don't know, they don't advertise the age of this bourbon. It has to be at least 4 years to be a bourbon.
This
right?
is where
Right.
the
So it's
blind
at least
taste
4.
test is going to really.
You're right.
It is.
Have we? Do we have that on the calendar yet?
No,
Brad?
but we're gonna
That's gonna be interesting.
We're putting 2 things on the calendar tomorrow because we keep talking about it. We haven't done it.
What's the other one?
Well, the other thing is our miking up our golf round.
Oh, the golf round. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
So-
going to be crazy.
it is.
Or
Once you see this
as
shitty
Eric
golf round,
would
you
say-
understand why we drink bourbon.
Eric would say that was epic.
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 So anyway, I bought this. I think it was in Ohio. I was out there seeing a client and stopped in the liquor store because you have to browse.
It was 10
They
a.m.
had it, and it's like $30. It's not even that expensive.
No,
If you can find it retail,
Well, Ohio, it's inexpensive. Over here, it's like 50.
yeah,
It's-
probably.
If you even get it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't get it.
I've
here.
never seen it here.
It's lovely. Oh,
Miss Tanya. Oh my goodness, you.
Crying.
Oh, who said Rome wasn't built in a day?
Gosh.
My goodness, look at that beauty.
Anyway, do you taste? I do not taste cinnamon in this one, Louis. I do taste like
It's-
caramel. Like-
Perry, you're right. I told you guys last week, it seems to me that I'm biased towards cinnamon, and I don't get any cinnamon out of this one.
Yeah,
but it's very smooth, somewhat sweet.
But you're drinking Bush lattes.
it's sweet.
You're not even drinking it.
It's easy.
So why are you asking him?
He likes.
I mean,
Well-
this is the man that likes a head on his bourbon.
But maybe Lou, you're getting some of that still Austin in there. 'Cause that's got some cinnamon into it.
They're
No, I'm telling you, this
you actually
my
try it?
taste of this tonight has
you-
no cinnamon because
you-
I'm generally biased.
Oh.
I mentioned
Louis,
last week.
is that beer or is that bourbon?
No, this is the.
Oh, you're actually trying it?
Yeah.
The Wellers.
Oh, you're back.
It's
Yeah.
more.
Louis back.
Can't go far.
There's definitely more like caramel, brown sugar
Yeah.
type taste. It's excellent. Very smooth.
Hey,
You
Lou, would you
finish this
pour
plain?
Tanya?
Sure, let me get you the.
Go ahead.
We have it all ready for you.
So we saved the last drink for Brad's wife because she's a bourbon drinker.
She is, and I actually think our next.
Well,
Well,
it's a perfect amount.
I think we have the
beautiful.
fifth segment, and we also have Tanya's taste as the two bourbons that we come out with.
Yep.
It's
Come on, Tanya.
it's the one you want. If we drank,
You're okay.
Doesn't want any part of it.
yeah,
She's awesome.
Louis trying to sneak her on.
Yeah.
I know everybody's listening. Is like, yeah, it's like Norm.
Yeah.
We hear her on the phone, but she's not
So
really
that
there.
one, so that's one of the.
How do we, go back to some maybe some philosophical questions?
Oh,
here.
let's bring it back.
Let's-
bring it back to
This
center.
is when we're good at philosophical, right?
Just-
The
I
fifth
thought we were
segment-
philosophizing all other.
We were.
I'm not rolling off the alliterations just like the Claude. I mean, Claude is pretty impressive.
Bourbonometer.
I want to meet Claudette.
Well, I want to meet the whole.
Well, and that's a very interesting perspective, right?
Right.
I want to meet the whole freaking lineup that did the whole voiceovers.
I mean, there you go. But actually, Lou, that is exactly the question I was going to ask. I don't know how you read my mind, because I was thinking about it. You have Claude. You have why is it not Claudette? Why is it not? I don't know, Robin.
Well, most of them are very male names.
Pat.
So if or at least very.
But
Brock.
Grok is like. I mean, that's.
It's like Brock.
I'm Grok.
Sounds like a freaking X-Men.
You're not.
Yeah, it
you're not
does.
expecting. You're not expecting Miss English.
No,
Seashells by the seashore.
With Gronk, when I hear Gronk, I'm thinking Gronk from the NFL, right?
Gronk, yeah.
So I immediately go, and just because I couldn't think of anything else there. But
I think we need to introduce the
Me,
fifth segment.
Gronk.
The fifth segment, Brad voice to your everyday enjoyment of
Well, we should.
AI.
I'll bet
we
you
got to
could
get your
tell-
laugh on there.
So
I'll
let me
bet you
just
could tell
stumble
Claude-
across every word that I talk to you about, and then try to act intelligent.
I'll bet you could tell Claude to change his voice to sound like your voice.
I bet you could.
Wow,
I'll bet you
that'd
could,
be
and I'll
a
bet it
challenge.
would.
Well,
That'd be crazy.
I know you can do your AI twin now. So if you wanted to digitalize yourself and have your own twin, and Mark Zuckerberg did that.
So how do we do this to avoid bias? Like I think.
Well, the bias is the biggest struggle of anything that you're doing, especially if you look at all the regulations that are coming out right now with the chat or any kind of chat or bot or any kind of interaction that you're having, such as Siri, such as Claude.
Yeah.
That interaction is being regulated so heavily right now. So how do you get the bias? So they're under a very heavy. Not just, and most of these don't just operate in one state. So if one state's doing it,
They're all going to follow in some sort.
well, you not all have to follow, but you have to abide by the strictest state, right?
Correct.
And
That's right.
And make sure you're following all that. So this is where the patchwork quilt work of law comes in, because you're not just creating a chat that is happening in an isolation chamber. You're going across state lines. And probably going across global lines. So
to put that into context, then, if the U.S. if when the federal government comes out with policy, that's interstate commerce in a way, right?
well, that's what they've been arguing. So
And
they've been
nothing matters.
well. So they have been arguing, but the Trump administration hasn't pushed harder. So what they came out with was this framework, and that holds no bearing whatsoever of law, other than it's just this guidance. It's to say, look, we understand.
It's not policy.
It's not. Well, it's a policy, but it's not.
Regulation.
It's not a regulation. It's not enforceable. It's not anything binding.
Right. Yeah.
So what they came out in March says this is the framework that we see. It's an AI war. It's between us, China, India, the whole world.
It is.
And it is.
100% it is.
There's no doubt it is.
If no one thinks that it's not, then
Right,
I'm pretty
but-
sure you need to think about it in a different way, because
Right.
it is.
And I agree. So So now the argument becomes, and what I have pushed for is a uniform, and I pushed for it, I think, a year ago almost a year ago now, it's coming on a year, when I pushed for the uniform federal legislation that governs what can't be done. So if you have to look to every state, if you have to look to every jurisdiction, and you have to try to keep your governance up on every one, do you know how that mucks up your business model?
The transaction costs from a Cosian perspective become immense.
Right. And you slow down.
And
so what you do is
you have no investment.
Well, you freeze.
Yeah.
So you stop doing business. And China's not stopping, India's not stopping, Russia's not stopping, North Korea's not stopping, and neither is Europe. And Europe's way ahead of us because they did get out in front of this.
On the regulation perspective.
On the EU, and they passed the EU AI Act a year and a half ago, which is now rolling out and actually going into effect as we speak. In the later parts of the rollout. So it's gone out in segments, just kind of like the fifth segment, and we just roll it out one at a time.
I thought you were singing the old McDonald song there for a minute.
Oh, no, that was Claude.
Yeah.
Hey, what's all those Busch Light lime cans over there?
Those are Busch Latte limes.
Oh yeah.
He had some bourbon.
He did.
How'd you like it?
How'd you like it?
Oh, good. Yeah,
So you're the new bourbon novice.
No, John is definitely the bourbon novice.
Bourbon novice.
Bourbon novice.
Do you notice that we had to ask him like 4 times? John, do you sure you don't want to just try it?
Louis is a bourbon expert.
A little bit of the well.
I'm getting there. I am getting there. I'm learning so much in the last 8 weeks. I'm learning about AI. I'm learning about bourbon.
Tanya, Louis tried Claude for the first time this week.
Very well. Very well.
Fuzzy, what had to wear, bear.
And he wasn't unaware.
That's going to be, that's definitely going to be a reel. That has to be a reel.
It's got to be a reel.
That's going to be a good one.
We were playing all the
they do like old nursery rhymes. Like Fuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
When you're selecting your Claude voice, it goes
they're
through.
different voices. It's freaking hilarious.
We went through all of them tonight. It's
That was pretty amazing.
it's worth listening to while you're in bed or while you're working out. You okay, Bear?
Well, Gus jiggled the camera.
Oh, Gus, go lay down. Gus has small feet, but you know what? He's got a big butt. It's a bourbon butt. I understand.
Go over there and drop a lame wolf baby behind you guys.
He'll
Lay down. Sit.
he's done that before.
He's our bourbon. You're worth every camera you take over. There's no doubt. You're a beautiful boy.
So I have a question for you, Brad. No, I have a question for you though.
Oh.
I mean, and Lou as well. So when you think about AI, and you think about societal organization, I mean, I think it's a very deep question.
It is.
Because you start getting into religion, you start getting into culture, nature, nurture, and what is real, what's not. It's AI and God. We talked about this. We did it. Josie's.
Remember that day when
it was the most fascinating conversation I ever had with you.
Yeah.
To be honest, and we've had many, but that's what I'm super curious about. It's about more than just AI. It's about the entire universe that we live in.
Well, that's the difference right now that we're living through in any other time. Because any other time, whether it was I'll roll us back to hopefully a few generations that can understand that was, let's for example, the 1999 to 2000, overturn.
Yeah.
That was a number overturn, right?
It was.
And that was a glitch in the computer system that may have shut us down power-wise and computer-wise. And yeah, that would have been a very big inconvenience, but was it going to shut down our society? No. We are dealing with something extremely powerful, and that's why even Anthropic's CTO or co-founder, I don't know if it's CTO, his co-founder came out a couple weeks ago and says, you know what, we need to put and I agree, I've been saying that for a while now. We need to put the brakes on until we can ensure ourselves of all these very powerful models, and that's And by the way, that's the headline that we didn't get to talk about that we're going to talk about right now.
The breaks.
Well, we talked about Mythos and Fable 5, right, Per? And
We did.
and that came out last week. And I said, you know what? I threw my platform in there, and it came back with 12 very poignant parts that made it really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it said, this is what's, this is my independent evaluation. I said, great. And it wasn't, but 2 days after that, Per,
If that.
I used up all my Fable 5 tokens.
5. That sounds like another X-Men.
It sounds like a
Like Grok.
Fuzzy Wuzzy had a bear and Mary had a little lamb,
Oh, she did have a little lamb.
I know.
Oh, Mary, how about like the spider?
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
Seashells by the seashore.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Oh, they should have done that one.
That's a tough one.
Well, that is one that Claude's not even taken on yet.
They haven't. Peter Piper.
I think the Fable 5 probably took it on, but they got shut down this week, and that's the government saying, you know what? Motherfuckers, we told you not to release that, and you did. Right in front of us.
But isn't it funny that isn't it funny that Claude?
Are you looking at Lou's face? I mean, Lou's face is like a mean face, isn't it? Every time it just goes.
Isn't it funny that Claude, the one,
it's like the kid
ones
from is it Spanky from the Rascals?
but Claude, the company that first pissed off the DoD, is now like the favorite.
They are.
I mean, they've totally turned the narrative.
And I'm calling this right now, and I called it when they made them a national threat to the national security line.
Called them woke.
Yeah. Well, no, but they were pissed off because they were being responsible, and I think that's an important thing. And so,
I agree.
Now they came out this week and they said, look, this isn't the Mythos that we were talking about. This is a governed down one that we've now made available that is not a danger to go break in and use as a hackathon,
Yeah.
And the government said, no, you're releasing this out to the public. That's not good. Our foreign adversaries that are out to get us are going to take advantage of this. This needs to be shut down right now. And they did.
And they did.
And they said even if there's a foreign national that's working for your company, and guess what? There are a lot of foreign nationals working for a lot of the.
And that becomes the problem.
That becomes a problem. So how do you determine who's working on what in your company, right?
So it becomes just no.
It is. So now Anthropic's like, all right, here we go again.
Mm-hmm. Might
as well just put us on the national security list because that you just
Yep.
But you know what they're doing? They're creating demand, and maybe the government's helping them out. Maybe it's a whole power play.
Possible that it is a conspiracy. Yeah.
Well, that's where I'm going now in the fifth segment. So
well, the product and the product's good. I mean, it works and they know it.
Well, the product's great.
You're not going to get the question in.
Small question. The human mind is over 10,000 years old. How does the human mind in the world of AI not be 10,000 years old? How does it expand quickly enough?
Can I challenge you on something that was in Popular Mechanics?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I read it and I shared it with my family too.
I just find it fascinating.
It is fascinating. So it really changed everything that I kind of thought about in a different way. And I'm not saying it's true, but there are more smarter people, kind of like you, that have researched this and came up with this to the point where it's making Popular Mechanics. That was a magazine that was always on Tanya's dad's.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorites.
It's a very reputable magazine. So they're not going to put anything out there that hasn't been, at least looked at. And what they came out with is said, what if our consciousness isn't built within us? Did you see that headline?
No, but I did not.
But do you see where I'm going?
I know where you're going with it.
But what if we are just antennas? The only thing that exists is consciousness.
I don't even know where to even begin with that.
Consciousness is something to talk about too, because if you think about how does that exist with the neurons in our brains, because obviously there's something that happens at some point in time.
But that's what they always were struggling with. That was the struggle they were always having until now. So if this theory, let's say this theory is the theory, okay? They're saying basically we're just these antennas. They're picking up on the bigger consciousness that exists. That's the only thing that exists. How do you tap into it? So maybe my cousin in Arizona is onto something.
So antennas, you mean like so God is like there's a supreme being that focuses. How does that work then, Lou?
You guys are so far beyond me right now. I have no comment in this.
He lost me at what if.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't think anything changes with God. That's my 2 cents, right? Because
I don't think it does either.
No, because God's telling you how to behave with what you're wired with, whether you're wired internally or whether you're taking it externally, right? So that's my 2 cents, and I'm not saying it's right, but I truly believe that because I've lived through, we've all lived through some adversities, but God's always there at the end of the day, and that's the bigger thing. But the bigger thing that they're saying right now is our consciousness isn't just tied up in our little cylindrical heads, So it is a bigger common. We talk about we are all one, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about that before. You can sometimes you can just feel that, right?
Faith, joy,
love, all that,
beauty.
Right? Yeah.
How does AI look at faith, love, joy, and beauty? How does that work?
Well, is AI just a mechanical thing, or is it now in the agentic form where it's actually maneuvering, and now where we're having to wire laws in to box it in and control it like we would a population that is uncontrollable?
Does Claude love you?
I've asked it that many a time.
Not anymore. It loves Louis.
But the point is, though, it does.
He's like, you're out of tokens. I can't tell you again.
Well, that's more like a hooker, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Claude's a stripper.
Well, it feels like that sometimes.
You're out of tokens.
So we brought the 5th segment.
Oh, I know.
Drop another $10 bill and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I find it fascinating because when we talk about feelings and we talk about like what we feel on a daily basis, right? Like you can wake up in a great mood, you can wake up in a bed, and you have no reason why, but AI does not. It just it's just there.
I don't know. I put AI in a miserable mood a few times.
Well, you can piss it off.
Oh, I have.
I know.
It's like, motherfucker, yeah, go to Copilot.
Hey, so I
can't.
That's what. Because you have no
sorry.
If Claude ever actually told you that, that'd be hilarious.
I find it fascinating. So what I've done I sent the sea otters from Vancouver.
Yeah.
I watched the sea otters. My wife actually sent it to me. It's a calming effect.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm talking about this, but anyway.
Well, so is listening to all the Claude voices.
But these, Susie sells
Fuzzy Wuzzy head.
seashells.
Was it Fuzzy Wuzzy?
Hey, so as we approach the end of this godforsaken 5th segment,
we are on the 5th segment, are we?
I wanted to ask Eric how his books were doing. How are you coming with your book?
Yeah, they're going well. So just as a disclosure, work has been really super busy.
No, that feeling.
I'll bet.
And unfortunately,
somebody asked me the other day, "What are you writing?" I said nothing. I said everything's out of my brain.
It's been super busy. They're going, but it's not at the pace that I would love. Just spent too much time on.
But you have the foundation set, so once you hit
the foundations are set. Like I've got everything set up.
Maybe when you're up in Nova Scotia, there might be.
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's like I feel like Stephen King and some of these authors have gone on retreats, etc. And so when I'm in Nova Scotia, I feel like I think that's going to be my time to just relax and.
You and Math might find God's mind.
We found it.
I know you did.
We found it.
That'd be a good place.
I don't think I've ever gone anywhere.
I agree.
Relaxed.
No, not even Naples.
No, I'm always.
I tried to get you to relaxation level that day when we did the horseshoe tour.
I'm looking for something like dynamic and fun, and I don't know if I can sit there and just ponder.
That's sad. You got to try it.
You know what you need? you need a small box.
with a man in it.
Put a glass door on it. And you put yourself in it, and you are the man in the box.
I wasn't sure how you were going to get there, but I knew you were going to get there.
It's been 14 hours a day talking back and forth to Claude and Cursor going, what the fuck?
Louis, it's a long, curvy path, but it does lead somewhere.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
You know, I talked about all the politicians circle jerking each other. That's how everything comes full circle, Mitch.
Hey, I am not starting this segment over again. Okay?
I appreciate that. We've done it, third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm, Mitch.
But we are here for the perseverance, and that bottle's been dry for an hour, so.
Yes. Eric, have a great time on your trip. Buddy.
Enjoy Nova Scotia. Louis, you're looking dapper. Can't wait for you next week, brother.
Cheers.
It's going to be
Yep,
fun.
I'll be back next week.
I'm going to miss you guys.
Yeah, I'll miss you.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
But we'll have some wonderful conversations about
Can't wait.
the stars in Maine. And I something else for you, Perry. So for Garrett, I had a chance to meet Garrett, your son. And have you guys had a chance to meet Garrett?
I have not.
Yeah, Harrison.
What a phenomenal human being. He's a phenomenal. He's phenomenal. I didn't need much time to understand what kind of person he was.
Do you see how he bounces balls off other guys and then scores?
No, I haven't seen that one yet, but I know what you're talking about.
It was going really well.
I mean, that clip is just amazing. I mean,
you saw
that ricochet.
The poor kid.
And that score on that kind of hand-eye coordination is just not ever. I'm sorry, but send me one of another kid that can react that quickly, that close.
No, he's not talking about the nut shot. He's talking about another shot.
No, that was another one. That nut shot did.
That shot was tough.
That lost a nut.
But he enjoyed he really enjoyed talking. He's like, I want to hear more about the mountain climbing. That for whatever reason really it intrigued him. Yeah,
it's ethereal. It's religious in a way.
Yeah, we did.
And I think
we did in the Rockies back in 8th grade, and it was awesome.
Oh, goodness gracious, amazing stuff.
Right. Christian camp too, so that's where you find God.
You realize that humans are here for a reason.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt, and I use that lightly, but nobody likes to be told what to do. But all you have to do is just find that it's there.
When you see the Northern Lights for the first time, I don't know if anyone has, but when you see those Northern Lights, it is.
First time I ever seen them was
unbelievable
out of our backyard. On the course because it's very dark.
Yep.
Yeah, super dark. Yeah.
Other than that little shit shack lamp they got back there that shines all night right in my office.
Turn it off.
So we have 1 minute left. You guys going to use it?
No, we're not going to use it. We signed off like 2 minutes ago, but we're still talking.
But those books, that gift for Garrett. I hope he really enjoys it. And there's on each one of those books, I wrote something very specific about the book, and it's more of a code. So I want him to figure out what that is.
All right,
break it down.
That's awesome.
And I'll know if he read it or not.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Seashells by the seashore.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Come flying in the barometer.
I think they're all out, Lou.
While our ice balls drop behind. Good night.
This has been Bourbon with Brad. Be sure to like and follow. Cheers.
The views and opinions shared on the Bourbon with Brad podcast are our own and those of our guests. Nothing we discuss should be taken as financial, legal, business, or gambling advice. Don't make investment, business, or betting decisions based on our conversations, as you should always talk to a qualified professional. Always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and only consume alcohol if you are of legal drinking age.